the I'm a Fan of podcast, music, comedy, and more.
Jackson, welcome back, man.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me on.
Jackson Scribner, for those who don't know. Beautiful new album.
Thank you.
Dude, I was listening to it. And literally, like, this episode's coming out later, but it just dropped this past weekend, right? That's just
the
released.
19th. Yeah, Friday. Yeah.
Dude, I started listening to it over the weekend. Oddly enough, I was listening to it when I was going for a run. And it's not like a real exercise album, but
it works though.
Yeah, but
it's got some energy to it.
But it was like nice outside. You know, it's like I went later in the evening.
Yeah.
And it's like it opens up with Mr. Moon. And so it's like I'm running when the moon's coming up.
Yeah.
And I was like,
this is
I'm
perfect.
just going to chill on this one. You know, it was kind of great, man. Rather than just, I've never liked like, you know, like energetic, like,
yeah.
I feel like I'm going to have a heart attack if I'm running with that. But
me either.
But yeah, dude, congratulations on the album. This is number 2 for full album releases, right?
Number 2, yep.
Dude, I was looking at the first one when you were in here. I can't believe it's been 4 years since you released that album.
I know, it's crazy. It feels like yesterday that we were doing the first podcast.
Dude, so time just goes, right?
It takes off on you.
Yeah. Were you thinking while you were writing this album, like, oh my gosh, I haven't released an album in this many years. I got to release something. Or were you just going with the flow? Like, what was your process for that?
Yeah, I mean, when we first started working on it, I think...
It's you and your brother still, right?
Yep. Yeah. So me and Levi, we really took this one on ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
So when we first started working on it, I feel like we felt like it was good timing. You know, like, okay, we're doing this at the right time. Not that there's a right time, but just kind of like...
What was the time? What do you mean?
I feel like after the first record, kind of feeling like, okay, like, it's probably time to start working on some new music to put out, you know, and we had
when you say after the first, though, was like a week, a month, a year?
No, like it was...
Because didn't y'all toured with that first album a little bit, right?
We did, yeah. We were able to go overseas a couple times.
Yeah. So you put some work in on that album.
We put some work in on it, for sure. I don't know, I guess, like, because I had started writing some of the tunes that were on, like, Greater Motel Times. I started writing pretty quickly after. Mm-hmm. But I didn't really write with, like, the mentality of, like, okay, I'm writing this song specifically for the second record. I think I was just writing.
Yeah.
And then after a while, I texted Jeff Ryan, you know, our drummer. He's been helping us from the start, and was just like, I think I'm ready to jump into record again and get going on this second one.
Yeah, he's like the unofficial official member, right?
He is. Like, he's...
I remember you talking about it on the first album too, right?
He is. He's been there from the start. Mm-hmm. He's the one that kind of helped me do the first record, discovered me, and was like, let's make a record. So he's been there from the start, man. He's helped us with literally everything. So, dude,
it's so tricky to explain to people how important it is to have like a person in your corner like that.
Absolutely.
And you can't just find them. Like, you can't go searching for someone. It's like, it's just got to be timing and circumstance.
Absolutely.
But if you find those people, it's like you just got to hang on to them.
Yeah, it's that kind of person that, like, no matter what happens, like, he's always told us, like, no matter where you go, if you know what you do, like, I'm always in your corner. And
and I think what's hard about it is like, it's genuine, right? It's like, here you are years later and you're still working with, like, people who genuinely like what you do, and there's nothing, they're not like, oh, you know, if I work with Jackson, I think I can get this and take this next step and work this angle and blah, blah, blah. It's like just people who just like music and like doing stuff.
That's it.
It's tough, man. And I feel like around the Dallas area, it's even harder.
It is, especially with Dallas just, like, growing the way it is. And
And I've been noticing there's just a thing here where people... Not everybody, but there's a lot of people in the music scene. Like, now that I've got to talk to a bunch of musicians, you know, kind of feeling out the scene as an observer. Because it's like, you know, I used to be in bands and kind of be a part of it. But the version of the scene that I was in, it's dead and gone, you know, and it's a new thing now. But have you ever heard that saying, like, you know, there's Keep Austin Weird, and they say Keep Dallas Plastic. You ever heard of that?
I haven't heard.
Yeah, we're just fake and phony up here. And I used to think it was real.
Crazy.
I used to think it was lame, but then I've kind of run into people where, you know, it's like they're always trying to work an angle. There's never just like you want to hang out?
Yeah.
You know? And I'm not saying I need to hang out with people, but I'll hear them talk about bands. Like, yeah, we're trying to do an opening with this band. We're thinking that might get us to this level, and then blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And when we're going into the studio, this producer has these credits. I think if we work with this local guy with these credits, we might get to the next level. It's like, can you just think about what's cool and fun?
Yeah,
And what
100%.
goes best for, like, instead of thinking about the show that'll launch you, what about just, I think we pair well with these bands and these performers,
Like,
and it's going to
let's
be
do
a
it.
fun night, like music's supposed to be, you know?
Yeah, I feel like that creates like the most genuine relationships too, you know, because like, especially when you're writing or, you know, you're working on a new record and you're like, man, I want to bring these musicians in, or I want this person to work on the record. I mean, having that relationship means something, you know?
Yeah.
So I think that in a way, like, if you're being fake the entire time, or you're like trying to get something out of it, like, people can kind of see through that.
Oh,
and
yeah.
they may not want to work with you, you know, because they want to create something that's beautiful and
Yeah.
means something, you know? So,
You know that phony customer service smile?
yeah,
that just
yeah,
looms through every
100%,
conversation.
100%.
And you just want to shake people and just be like, are you real?
Yeah.
Are you a real person?
Like, come on, come out, come out.
It's hard on this show with, not with you, but with other musicians that have been on here. It's hard, like sometimes even just getting them to pull down that wall. Like they want to
Yeah.
look cool. They want to sound cool and interesting.
Right.
And it's like, man, you are interesting. Just knock all that up. Be yourself.
Be yourself.
Be yourself, you
Yeah.
know? But I think just so many musicians are naturally insecure. It's like that's why they lock themselves in a room and learned how to play guitar to
100%.
begin with.
100%.
You know? And they still can't ever shake. It's like no matter how cool they are, they still feel like that, 14-year-old
Yeah.
who was like, I guess I'll do guitar. Maybe
Yeah.
girls will like me.
Yeah, exactly. And some people, they have like, they are that way, and music allows them to form this like character, or this person that, I've heard musicians that are like, I'm pretty shy, but once
Yeah.
I get on stage, like it's a new world for me. It
Yeah.
opens up things in me that like I can create and do this thing on stage.
Yeah.
So I've heard musicians that are that way too.
How are
So,
you?
I don't know. I feel like I'm pretty even kill. Like
Because I don't think I've never got to watch you live yet.
you have to come see a show.
I know.
You have
I
come
want
see a
to. But
show.
right whenever I found out about your album, you were going to Europe.
I can't go to Europe, but
yeah.
I feel like I'm pretty. Yeah, I'm just myself. I feel like, and like I said, I like people who do that other thing where they're like they can create a character, and because it's. I think that's cool too. It's part of the art. It's part of creating whatever your music is. But some people are very even kill too, where it's like I'm the same person when I walk down the street, when I'm on stage. It's like
It's probably harder for you to do that just because it's you and your brother.
yeah.
And your brother would just be like, dude,
Dude, this
are you-
isn't it.
what are you doing?
Oh, he'll tell me too.
You know?
He'll tell me too.
It literally just like, what is that
He knows.
shirt? What are you wearing?
Yeah, 100%. There's times for shows too where he'll be like, try on this jacket or do this.
Yeah,
or,
yeah.
He knows. So
It's
yeah.
good to have that, man.
It is.
Especially now that you've gotten some popularity. Like, you don't want just these yes people around you.
Oh, 100%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, and you're still just at the beginning. Like, you still have a long way to go.
Absolutely.
A lot of room to grow, but it's like you've had enough success now where you can have people telling you some bad advice,
Yeah, 100%. You definitely got to keep, having someone like my brother close is nice. Someone that's can kind of weed through some of the, you're just kind of like, is this real or is this not?
Yeah.
Or just,
Plus, too, it's just like, I'm sure you've had it now where you're at shows and someone approaches you and like, oh, I love you, and we got this opportunity. We can help you out this way and do that. And it's
Yeah.
nice to have somebody who you've known your whole life where y'all can talk it over and just be like, is that bullshit? Do we
Yeah.
even need to waste time with this person, or is that
Yeah.
genuine?
100%.
Somebody trying to hustle us here.
And he'll be like that. He'll be like, "No, that's whack. Don't
Yeah.
do that." Or or he'll be like, "No, you actually need to hit that person back up. Like you text them after." So he kind of helps with like understanding, like, okay, this is an opportunity and you should take it, or nah, like don't entertain that.
Without saying any names, because we don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, can you think of an opportunity that was like that, where it sounded kind of interesting, but he had your back and was like, no, don't do that? Like, we don't have to throw anybody under the bus, but just kind of a, mild explanation maybe of what happened.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like, I don't know if I can think of anything super specific. I think it's always just like, not necessarily like bigger opportunities or maybe even opportunities in general. I think it's just like, I don't know if something's feels like, oh, it's going to be about just money, or if it's like, because usually with him, it's about whatever the relationship is. So it's like, if he sees that it's a good relationship opportunity, someone that is not just going to open up like an opportunity to make money, but it's like, no, this guy is gonna like teach you things, or this person's gonna
Yeah.
develop you. So it's like it's gonna help you in your career because of development, not because you're gaining like money. So
Yeah. That's a pretty mature
it
approach.
is. I think I see more times where it's kind of the opposite, where it's like he's telling me, no, this is a good opportunity. Like, you need to text this guy back tomorrow.
So you're a little more on guard about it, or just not really your thing to think about it?
Yeah, I'm just not I'm not as like, I feel like I'm more reserved than he is, Like, I'll go play the show, and I'm happy to play the show. And, like, that's kind of where I'm like, oh, I'm glad I'm here, And he's more like, no, like, this is an opportunity to, like, text this person and form a relationship.
Yeah.
So sometimes I'm a little bit too lax, and he sees more of, like, hey, go. He's kind of the pusher, like, go do this.
Remind me, is he older or younger?
He's older. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's like 5 years older.
Yeah,
so.
that's a big brother move for sure.
So, no, yeah, he's been through these, situations as well. He's just started playing bass for Angel White. And
wow. You got some good people in your corner,
yeah,
man.
absolutely. Some people who have been through it and they know what they're doing. So yeah, it's
just
good.
again, like, just it's genuine too.
It is.
It's not like, hey, we found this young guy Jackson. We think we can do something. It's like, no, we like this guy. Like you were saying, worrying about forming relationships, not for achievement, but like how is this project going to grow and get better?
Right.
That's exciting, man. I mean, I hear it on the new record a lot. It was funny. I was reading one of the articles written about it. And somebody was comparing your first album and second album to kind of how they were like, not quite when Bob Dylan went full electric, but he has made this swing. And it was funny, like trying to make it seem dramatic, but it didn't seem like this dramatic shift listening to it. It just felt like a natural growth.
Thing.
Yeah. But the album sounded, who recorded it?
So we did it at Consalvo Studios where we did the first record, but the studio, Jerome Brock owns that studio, and he moved studios. And he, it's a kind of, where Darriette is off of Ferguson? It's an old, like, burger joint.
Oh, I know Ferguson, but I don't know
that
place.
We love Darriette. We, like, because it's, like, right next to the studio.
Ferguson and what? Like, closer to 30 or closer to...
I can't remember what the other street is, but...
it's all good.
Yeah.
But we can find it from there. We can find the burger place.
Yeah.
But it was the same person, but new studio?
Yeah, same person, but the studio had moved, so it's a little bit bigger. And then we had Stuart Sykes come down from Austin to record, to engineer the record. And then me, Levi, and Stuart all helped kind of produce it.
Yeah, well, I mean, it just sounds like you leveled up from the first one.
Yeah,
it's just a very... I hate those cliche terms, but... like I hate like warm, but it feels like a smoother recording. It doesn't feel like this independent production anymore. Like it still feels indie in a way where it's like, oh, I've discovered this singer-songwriter. But like even that first track, the way you guys decided to just kind of tastefully do the lo-fi thing at the start without really just going crazy.
Right.
It reminded me like the Foo Fighters album where it starts off like that. I can't remember the actual lyrics right now, but it starts off where it's just guitar, him singing. It's all like sounding like it's coming through a telephone, it's real lo-fi, and then it kicks into the full record.
Yep.
And it's just, the record seemed like it had all these nice little tasteful choices like that, where it was still representing your wheelhouse, but it was more produced,
Yeah, I felt like we went slower. Mm-hmm. The first one was during COVID, and I think we did it in like 2 weeks, which some records happen like that, where you go in and you take these weeks or 2 weeks and you make the record, and I think that's beautiful as well. But yeah, this time we did it in like different sessions that were, it was much slower, and I felt like just decisions we were making and also just exploring more. Like we would get to a part, maybe it's a guitar part, and we would set pedals out and just like really, really like work different pedals and tones and sounds. And so I think just exploring more that way with each instrument and letting each musician kind of do their part and like kind of like, hey, put your touch on this. But everyone was taking their time and just, multiple takes, and just, so I felt like this one we went slower and kind of like you said, made some of those smaller decisions on some of those things. So
was the first one faster because of COVID or because of like budget reasons?
I don't know.
A little bit of everything.
I feel like a little bit of everything. I feel like it was my first time in a studio making a record at all. So I felt like it was more of just like you just go in and you just do it kind of.
Right.
Where this one was more like, before we do it, let's think about, do we want this here?
Yeah.
Do we want this tone, or do we want this warm, or do we want this lighter? Like things like that. But yeah, so
it makes me, when I hear those types of stories, it makes me want like the day of like the giant record labels to come back.
Yeah.
Where now I don't want them to be predatory and screw everyone over.
Right.
But it's like, man, a little bit of gatekeeping.
Yeah.
Where like, even if they're just independent record labels, a little bit of gatekeeping where you can make the funds, make the money somehow to say like, hey, we're going to put you in the studio for 3 months.
Right.
And you can work on the record,
Right.
And I know how that gets out of hand. Like they bill you for everything and you end up upside down. But there's got to be a middle ground where you can just go in there and just relax and be creative and make something better because of it,
Yeah, absolutely. I think because that allows you to create space, where like it's not, it's not like, oh, you're going in just to do this one thing. It's like, no, we're creating a space where we can really explore.
Yeah.
Like,
You get to do all the cheesy stuff. You're like, what color lights do we want?
Yeah.
What
100%,
scented candle do I need today?
100%.
And it's like all that stuff. Originally, I went to school for audio engineering.
Gotcha.
And I realized very quickly I'll never be an incredible engineer. But I do love the idea of tones and settings.
Right.
Of like making a room fit a person to create.
Yeah.
Like what's important to you,
Absolutely.
You like sitting on a high stool, a low chair, all those types of things,
It's important.
It does, it's just the little details so that you just forget there's a microphone in front of you.
100%.
You just drift back into the song because, it's like, as a guitar player, it's like the best you've ever played is in your room when no one's listening.
100%.
And you're just like, why can't I play like this in public? And,
it's interesting.
Smooth,
It's interesting, yeah.
And so it's like in the studio, it's if you can somehow just drift, I'm fortunate. I've gotten to produce a stand-up comedy special, and we're recording another one for this guy, Michael Pasvar, in this December. And those are the things that I have to think about too with him. It's like, he's used to going to clubs, performing where there's not cameras pointed at him.
Right.
And it's like, how do you get the night going? To where he can just get on stage.
Right.
And he checks them for a second, but then he can just get back into it,
Right.
And because I don't think you can ever truly get a live recording the same as if you turned everything off and let them loose,
No.
But as close as you can. And I think it's the same with records, right? It's like
100%.
you and your brother probably nail like a rehearsal, somewhere,
Yeah.
and you're just like, that was the best we'll ever play that song.
100%. We've definitely had those moments of like,
Yeah.
Because a lot of times when we rehearse, especially if we're just doing like a duo set, like we'll just do it at the house, or like, when you're at the house, like you're comfortable, and we've had those moments where we're like, man, that was it. Like that was it.
It's just for y'all.
And, but I feel like there's those few moments too, where you do get on stage and you do drop into that.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh man, like this is that was it.
Can you think of a show where you locked in like that?
Oh, I think we had a couple shows in Sweden the second time we went. First and second time. In Sweden, it's insane. Like you could be in like a bar that looks kind of like a dive bar, real dark, and like if it were here, it would just be super loud, and people just get dead silent while you play. I mean, dead quiet, and it's like that everywhere you go. Really in Europe. I mean, we've been to Sweden and France now, so in both of those places, I mean, they're
like
great.
true listening rooms.
Just like and even if the room feels like it wouldn't be a listening room because of what you've experienced over here. I mean, everyone just stops and listens. So I felt like the shows over there, when you're feeding off of that kind of energy, like we had some shows that we got off stage and we were like, man, that's the best we've ever played.
Did you talk to anyone over there about why the crowds are like that? Is it just cultural? Like, are we just all loud Americans? And
I think so.
They've just got a few more 100 years of society.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely is like a cultural thing because, like, I mean, we would even have to tell them, like, you guys can clap.
Please clap.
Like, you can clap. You know, you can. Like, but they're so respectful and, like, it feels like they're in a place where they're like, you're providing us something.
That's
and
cool.
so, you know, and you feel that. And so I think that it helps you because you're like, I am providing you something, but you're receiving it as well.
Yeah.
So like, okay, now we're locked in, you know?
I have dreams of, you know, in the long term of opening up a little room like that just for our acoustic performances.
Oh, it'd be amazing.
You know, I think the closest thing we have right now, I've been there several times, but not for like an acoustic show. But they do these like acoustic open mics over here in East Dallas. Have you been to the Balcony Club yet with your act?
I haven't.
I'll have to send you a link to the Instagram, whoever's running it.
Please do.
But guys like Garrett Owen and stuff have been going to it, so it's got a good pedigree of players on it. But it's this little. You familiar with the Lakewood Theater? They turned it into a bowling alley.
Yep.
I mean, I'm glad it didn't get torn down.
I've actually
but
been bowling there.
okay,
Yeah.
So if you're facing the theater,
Right.
there's like Mexican food restaurant right next to it.
Yep.
Literally right between the two upstairs is a place called the Balcony Club. And it's
Okay.
like a little shotgun bar. And it's got a stage in there also. It might have been renovated since then. And I think you can get to the Lakewood Theater and to the Balcony Club
Like
from inside.
From inside, gotcha.
I think so. But we used to go there. There would be like, you know, old people like 50s, 60s. And there would be like a cover band on stage. And what was interesting about it is it was just like, not a cheesy cover band where people are kind of like delusional and they're making the crowd like, go ahead and clap your hand. Like it wasn't like you're at some bar.
Right.
It was like just these people who have been playing instruments for, 30, 40, 50 years who just loved playing. And it's like, yeah, we rehearse at home. We come up here and jam and drink. And what was crazier about it is like, since it's a older crowd, the level of like not giving a shit was there. So they didn't, it's like, dude, they're just rolling in and whatever close after work or something, just throwing something on, and then they're all in there dancing. They're like 100% into the moment. No cell phones are out or anything, you know. And the place just has a cool vibe. And then I saw and then I saw they actually do a lot of original, like bands will come in there and do original music. And then now there's this open mic I'm trying to get to, but
I've heard
there's a
like
vibe
of it. Yeah, I've heard of the
because long term I would love to open just a true listening room that holds I don't know 40 people. Yeah, it's just a small, almost like a pub bar. Where it's like, we're going to get drinks and then we're going to sit down and enjoy. And it's like maybe there's times like between acts where you can go get another drink or something. Or if you could train your audience to like be quiet. You know what? I produced a record for Brave Little Hal. It's it's only on vinyl. We rented out this cabin around White Rock Lake and we did a live. We did a live recording, 50 people. And that was the first time I was super nervous that somebody's going to be an obnoxious jerk.
Right.
Too many beers. We're
Especially
gonna ruin
for a recording, you know, like.
And the way we wanted to do the recording, the way we did it was no edits. So we hit record.
That's it.
Front to back.
Front to back.
Warts and all. Every bad moment is in there. Every great moment. I wanted you to feel like you were watching them, kind of like you and your brother are playing at home. If you could have a quiet audience right there, you know?
Right.
What I was surprised about is they seemed to all be on board. We told them we were recording, you know, cheer and stuff, but please don't like. And they were being so respectful that like they were waiting in between songs to like crack beers.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Like, it couldn't have gone better. And
so
I was
they're tuned in. They're like they know it. Like I love that when a room knows like, okay, I know what's going on and I know what the moment is, and I'm gonna be a part of the moment of like what. Because I think that's cool. Like you said, when you tell people, hey, we're doing a live recording here, it's like, okay, I'm going to be respectful because I'm a part of this. I'm, you know, as an audience member, and I think that's cool.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, we tried to do more, and then COVID hit, and then it just kind of went on the back burner. But because the cabin was called Big Thicket, and we were going to start a series live from Big Thicket. And I was like, I bet we could do one live vinyl a year. It never gets streamed. It's just for like your fans who already love you, just have a special little thing.
You got to bring that back.
I'll give you a vinyl when you leave.
I would
and then
love that.
If you guys are interested, we can talk about it sometime. But we did that in, I think, 2019 and released it in 2020. And part of it was just finding acts that are in a position where not only does that sound fun for them, but, you know, like it's a thing, it won't help your career. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It won't do that. It's just going to be, would you like a fun recording for your fans that already love you? And just a fun little separate thing.
And that's the purpose of it.
That was it, man.
I love that.
We even made it to where you have like instructions on how to listen. I'll give it to you. We didn't cut grooves in the song selection.
Yeah.
So you can try to skip the songs, but you don't know where they are.
I don't know where they are. That's amazing. And I think that like I talked to so many people today too, and I think more and more people are coming around to it where they're like, I love listening to a record front to back.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I love that. We need like more of that, because I think as an artist or a band, that's stuff that bands work on and artists work on when they're putting together a record. What song goes first? What song is third, fourth? You know, all the way to the end. And so, like, listening to it that way, I think that gives you insight. You know, so I think having a record where you don't know, you can't skip, is cool because you get start to finish.
Yeah, and you know, you're building a mood, right? And I think when you can. Look, Spotify's great in a lot of ways, horrific in a lot of ways.
Absolutely.
You know, everybody knows the pros and cons. Everybody knows they should be paying artists more, and it shouldn't be so predatory. But it's like it's what we're stuck with.
Right.
And it's much as bands are like, oh, go to, you know, Bandcamp or something else. It's like, look, man, I love those, but they're just not at that level of mainstream use yet. Right. And so you guys are all forced to use it. But when you can get people listening to like a physical medium and kind of lock in, you can make decisions that don't make sense, but are fun. Well, okay, your final track on your album, doesn't it fade out for like 3 minutes or something?
It does.
Right? And, you know, it's like, yeah, some nerd who's making songs just for Spotify would be like, no, we can't drag it on, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
But it's like when you're just playing your record in your house, hanging out with friends or a family member, or even if you're just cleaning or something, it's like you let it ride.
You let it go, man.
And it's like all of a sudden you're doing the dishes with a little groove or something, you know, and you wouldn't do that on Spotify, you know, with commercials or something popping in.
Or whatever.
Or just listening to playlist, which is fine. It's fine. But yeah, it's definitely, I don't know. What do you think the fix is going to be? Do you think Spotify can't be forever, right? Do you think we're ever going to get back to? I mean, there's got to be some physical medium for music to get better.
Yeah, I mean, I used to. My mom used to like burn me CDs all the time and make like mix tapes or whatever you want to call them.
That was the playlist before.
That was the playlist before, and
but it was curated by somebody you trusted.
Right. It was made. It was made for you, or you know what I mean, like, or with intention, right? Of like, I think this person's gonna like these, however many songs that are on it, you know. And I still go back and I have like a system at my house that has CD player in it, and I still go back and listen to those.
Does your car right now have a CD player?
It does, and I wish
mine does, but it was my truck was. It's a 2017, so that might have been like 2017, 2018. I think were probably some of the last models with a CD player.
I mean, my car's a 2017, so and it doesn't have one. So
okay, I'm
probably around that.
I'm wondering if we'll get CDs to come back the way vinyl has come back, because vinyl's great.
It is
okay, and it's. I think that's the most awesome way right now you can buy a physical thing.
100%.
But, like even your new album, do y'all have a CD form of that?
I believe we did CDs.
Okay,
yeah.
so
I know we did CDs for the first one.
Yeah. So you know, then if you were to grab that CD, you know that CD sounds 3-4 times better than the stream. The quality, what you guys did in the studio, the quality of that recording is going to shine the best on that CD compared to streaming.
100%.
And even in your car, it's like, you know, it's like I had a Jack White CD that I forgot was in the player. And I was streaming that album on Spotify and realized, like, I have this in the player right now, so I'll play it.
Yeah.
And it's like, even just the volume. Like, I didn't even turn the volume knob, and it's like way louder, way more clarity. It's like I wasn't having to max it out to hear what I want to hear on it, you know?
Right.
And it's like, because it's on that CD at a higher quality to begin with, it's like you only have to turn it up, you know, half the volume of what you would with those streams 100%. To hear it clearly.
Yeah.
And it's like, but I don't know if they're going to come back. I don't know. Something's got to come back because the streaming sucks.
Yeah, and I think I keep meeting more people who are like, I actually love CDs. You know, I think some of the problem is too that some like the cars got rid of these CD players.
Yeah.
And so I've met like people kind of like me who are like, I actually love CDs and I have a bunch of them. Mm-hmm. I just don't have a CD player in my car.
That's easy though. Car manufacturers can put those back.
They can put them back. They can put them back.
We can bring back something like car toys where they just sell you a new head unit. You start putting CD players back in.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. There's got to be something. I mean,
When I was a kid, I used to carry my like CD player.
I was gonna say,
around.
did you have the booklet?
I
where
had
you
the
flip through?
booklet.
Yeah, and it's like,
you
isn't it
flip through.
fun flipping? That's way more flipping through.
Yeah.
Because I've noticed now, like, okay, I can save my favorite albums digitally,
Right.
but I forget about them.
Yeah, you don't
know
go.
what I mean?
You don't go and listen.
I'm not scrolling
Yeah.
through my list. Isn't the same as flipping it and
Right.
seeing like that cool artwork and be like, damn, I hadn't listened to that one in forever. Let's throw that in.
100%.
You know, I think that's, and then the final key of that too. It's like how much more money could y'all have made in Europe if you had those CDs to sell and people were buying them? You know, it's like it could be a real game changer for you making money for your tour, for your next album,
100%.
or just to live. You know?
Yeah, I mean, like merch and your records and your CDs. Those are the ways that artists make money for sure. You know, like,
but the records are so expensive. It's
the
like
records do get
most of the time
expensive.
you're just trying to break even on those, and they're so big and heavy.
Yeah.
It's like,
you got like a $10, $15 CD. I mean, you could sell a bunch of them.
when it's like, good luck taking 400 vinyl to Europe with you.
Yeah, it's hard. You have to like get them shipped over there, and then
Which costs money.
It does.
And so it's like by the time you're selling this, hopefully you're broke
already
even.
starting.
Yeah, you're way back because it was already
Yeah.
super expensive because it's just
Right.
a big physical thing. Where back when I was doing it, we were printing up CDs. We could print them in high enough volumes that they were basically $1 a piece. So you could sell something for $5 and still make a killing on it. You know,
yeah.
And so it's like even with inflation and stuff, it's like, okay, let's say it costs $3 now. That's fine. You can sell it for 10.
Sell it for 10.
You're still killing it.
You're still killing it.
Yeah, and so
And some people even sell their CDs for like 15. You know,
really jumping up. There you go. Yeah.
And I mean, like, you could say, I guess, like, 15 for a CD is a lot, but I mean, like, when the record next to it is $45, you know, it's like, okay, I could take this.
It's not a lot though, because CDs in their prime, like
Yeah.
when you would go to a music store and buy a CD,
Right.
they were $18 to $20.
Yeah.
You know, like if you were buying a mainstream popular album, it was
Right.
still more than 15 then.
Still more than 15. Yeah.
And everything gets a little more expensive since
Right.
then. So 15's a good.
15's not
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah, I don't know. You were talking about audiences locking in earlier. Have you felt anything like that in like DFW? Is there a room where you felt like it was just as close to that experience in France and Sweden or Switzerland?
Yeah. I mean, I would say, we've played the Kessler Theater quite
Beautiful
a bit.
room.
It's a beautiful room.
But that's still a big concert hall, you know.
That's true. It
yeah.
is. I mean, it's a theater.
Yeah.
For sure. I mean, it's the sound in there is just amazing, and it's
They got pros in there. It's one of the best rooms.
it's one of the best rooms, and yeah, it's really good.
We saw Margot Price there a long time ago. Incredible show.
Incredible. Yeah.
And then like the contrast to that was we watched a comedy show there.
Oh, did you see Ralph
No.
Barbarossa?
I watched a special.
His special's really good.
Yeah. I watched a special there at the Kessler. No, we went and saw some local people just putting on a local show. And I was coming in there negative, which I shouldn't, right? I should be optimistic. But
Right,
but I was
right.
coming in there going like, because comedy's usually better in these like small rooms, not these big concert places.
Yeah.
You know? And but to their credit, man, they knew exactly what the show was. Right. So they knew how to seat the room where it was going to work.
Mm-hmm.
And rather than having like your concert stage lights and stuff, it was literally just a spotlight in the middle and everything behind was like black to like make you feel like you're kind of disappearing into the room
Right,
instead of
right.
you're in this giant room. And it's like, yeah, well, why was I thinking the Kessler people wouldn't know how to do this? It's like,
Yeah.
they're awesome, you
Yeah,
know?
they
but
are.
yeah, they know what they're doing, man. It's a great venue.
Yeah, I would say. I mean, we just played Sons of Herman as well, and
How did you like that?
I loved it. They have this.
Talking about Sons of Herman and Deep Ellum, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
Sons
yeah.
of Herman Hall. Yep. So they, because they have the room upstairs, which
Mhm.
I've seen shows there. But
Which, by the way, talking about mood, it's like, isn't it fun to like ascend up some stairs
Oh, it
into
is.
this secret concert room?
it's amazing.
that half the city still doesn't know about, even
Yeah.
though it's been there. It's a historical landmark now,
It
right?
is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And but they had us in the old like bowling alley room. They created this like long hallway, and it's a great room. We
Mm-hmm.
played it for the release show, and it was great. It was a great vibe, and
Yeah.
we really enjoyed it.
If that venue, I think, could figure out a really unique parking situation,
Oh man,
I think it would kill. I
would
think
kill.
that's the only thing that holds it back.
it's tough parking for sure.
Yeah, and if you don't know it's there, you know, I mean, literally,
tough.
you can just drive the corner like down to Elm. You just turn the corner and go by it. And if
right
you don't
there.
know that's what it is, There's not a lot of signage or anything, which is cool.
Yeah, I feel like people will pass it for sure. But
For sure, man.
I feel like that's maybe part of it too. Is it's like it's such a
If you know, you know.
if you know kind of spot. You know, I think people will come and be like, "Oh yeah, Sons of Herman." Like I know, I've been there. You know.
Yes,
So-
yeah, it is a good spot, man.
So
Yeah, maybe I think that's probably what we need more of around here is just those. There's nobody there running that place going like, how do we make millions of dollars? Right? They're
Yeah,
just going
exactly.
like, how do we make sure this place stays true to what it is?
right,
You know,
100%.
Again, going back to that keeping Dallas plastic, you know, it's like
Yeah.
we got to fight that off somehow.
Oh, 100%. And I think we are. I love Dallas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I love it. I don't want to go anywhere else.
Yeah, I think it's great.
I used to hate Texas, and I thought like, oh, you know, any problem I have or whatever, it's because I'm stuck in this state.
Right,
You
right.
know, this was like my late teens, early 20s, and then we traveled around playing music everywhere, and I was like, I really love Texas. I don't
Yeah.
know what I was getting on about. It's like people are jerks or nice anywhere you go. It's just
100%.
people are people, and then I started realizing like we do have everything I want here.
That's what I love about Dallas is I feel like it's so like versatile and the art that it has. Like it has so many. Because I feel like you can go to certain places and it's like, oh, this place is known for like this certain thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like in Dallas, it's very much like you can come here with whatever art you're making, and there's a group in Dallas that probably fits you. You know what I mean?
There's a lot of little subcultures
There
that
is.
if you know about them, you're like, you know, if you're really tuned in, you're like, this is a kind of big movement down here, but
Yeah.
it all stays under the radar. Like somebody was just telling me, do you know where Petacolis Brewery is over in like West Dallas in like the Arts
I
District?
don't know if I've been.
It's West Dallas, like just west of 35 down there, kind of like all the hospitals. It's like a warehouse area, but they have a brewery down there. But someone was telling me right next door to that is a place called the Silos, and they're like, oh, this place just
I've heard
opened,
of
this
that.
music
Yeah,
venue,
yeah,
and I was
yeah.
like, I've never heard of it. What kind of music? They're like, oh, it's an electronic scene. And I was like, okay, really?
Right, interesting.
And they're like, yeah, no, it's like, and they were saying phrases like, we've needed an electronic venue. And I was like, okay, just cool. Never thought I'd hear that, but I guess so. And I underestimated how popular it was. So we were at Petacolis for something else.
Yeah.
And Petacolis is closing. And so we're just like out front chatting for a minute. Everybody's saying their goodbyes. And there are just people who like parked around the block, and all these people just walking in like neon clothes ready to glow in the dark and all this stuff. And it's just person after person after person. You're like, there you go. Another huge scene that I
Yeah.
never would have known existed, you know? And there's just these little cool pockets of like whatever you're into, you can probably find it, which always made
yeah.
me laugh. Because I'm sure as you've experienced, it's like when you leave Texas, the stereotype of Dallas, people are like, wow, so do you guys have like a ranch? Like, do you ride horses? And
I know.
where you're like, are you going to wear a cowboy hat over here the whole
It's so
time?
funny.
It's like, oh man, I live in like an apartment.
Yeah. It's quite the opposite, actually.
Yeah. At the time I was driving a Mazda and lived in an apartment, and I worked at Chili's.
So, you know, yeah. And I feel like you said, like there are people who are cowboys, you know, that are here.
Yeah.
But I mean, you also have like Fort Worth, and you have
Yeah.
these kind of other areas of DFW, you know, that like you said, have these pockets of
Yeah.
different cultures. But I mean, I think that that's a beautiful thing. 'Cause
Yeah. It's way more diverse than I think the rest of the country realizes.
Yeah. I
They all
so.
think we're just a bunch of racist rednecks. And it's like, if you go to our suburbs, the amount of people from other countries who have full populations here now, you know, where
100%.
you can go to a market where they don't speak English,
Yeah.
you know, and it's not just Hispanic. It might be Indian. It might be other cultures. And you're just like,
Yeah.
we have these little pockets. It's like we're getting our own little, you know, Chinatown, India town, where they have their
100%.
grocery stores and everything. But if you go outside of here, they're like, they're uncultured down there. It's like, okay, all right.
All right.
I think we're pretty friendly and tolerant as long
Yeah.
as you are also.
Right.
Yeah, I
would
love
agree.
it here.
Yeah.
What were some of the, like, did you run into any fun stereotypes while you were in Europe when people find out you're from, because I'm assuming when you're going, you're like, oh, we're from Dallas.
Yeah, we say
Yeah.
like Texas, and then it's funny. We on the first Sweden tour, we went into this gas station just to get like some hot dogs and some snacks and stuff. And the lady that was working there she was like, hey, if you we told her we're on tour, you know. She was like, if you sing a song, if you guys sing a song, I'll give you like the hot dogs for free, you know.
What?
And we're like, all right, yeah, sick. So I can't even remember which song we sang. We did it like total a cappella. And then there's this dude behind us. And he goes, because we were like, oh yeah, we're from Dallas. We're from Texas. And then we were like, oh, we're from Dallas. Mm-hmm. And the dude behind us goes, oh, no way, I'm from Garland.
No way.
All the way in Sweden.
Oh my God.
It was insane. We were like, there's no way. There's no way.
Were they an American in Sweden, or was it a Swedish person who had just spent time in Garland?
No. They were traveling too.
Okay.
Yeah, they were traveling too.
Dude, that's
at this
crazy.
gas station. It was crazy.
Yeah.
But I mean, like,
what are the odds, man?
What are the odds?
Singing a cappella for a hot dog, and someone's like, I'm from Garland.
Someone's like, oh yeah, you're from Dallas? I'm from Garland. We were like...
They're like, yeah, dude, traffic on 635 is crazy,
right? Like, yeah, it's just stuff like that. It's just crazy. Yeah,
that's pretty wild.
But I mean, they kind of have the same, like you say, Texas, and they're like, you know, cowboy kind of. But I mean, like,
did you bring your gun with you? Like,
yeah. I mean, you know, you're so far from.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I'm sure all that you hear about Texas is like, okay,
yeah,
you know, desert cowboy, you know, that whole thing.
What was the catalyst for y'all to go to Sweden at all?
So Jeff Ryan really helped us a lot with that. Jeff Ryan, State Fair Records, they helped us connect with some people, people over there that helped book the tours.
So when you were going, were you finding that people already knew who you were, or were you always getting to play to a room where it's the first time hearing you?
Yeah, I mean, I think when we first went, it was a lot of like first time hearing us. And then the second time we went, we had people that were coming out to the shows that had came the first time. And that was really nice to see people return, and not only just, to hear us play and to see that they're coming back, but like we were talking about earlier with that relationship aspect, seeing people we had met the first time.
Yeah.
And being like, oh, like, let's go out and have a drink or after the show. And like, like I was telling my mom that, like, it's crazy. Like, I have friends in Sweden. It feels like, you know what I mean? Like, across the country. And it's...
well, how crazy that you have fans in Sweden.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You know what I mean? That you're trying to build a fan base here anywhere you can, but it's like, it seems like you might be having an easier time building a fan base there.
I mean, it maybe so. I mean, even in France now, too, it's like we went to France and now we built relationships there. People housed us. People, when I feel like that's the thing, is when someone opens their home for you, it's like just that. It's gonna bond.
Yeah.
Build a relationship, right? Because now we're eating dinner together, right? We're like, and it's just refreshing because you meet with people who are in a different culture than you.
Yeah.
And you could sit down at dinner and just like, have a conversation and talk about how is it like over here? How's it like, but also not just, America versus this, or like, how is it, but also like, these are my kids. This is what I do for work. This is, so it's like, I don't know. They're just people, and it's cool to hear about people's lives.
Were you getting booked with other acts?
So the second time we opened for Israel Nash.
Okay.
It was a great run. It was awesome. And his whole band and crew was really, really nice. And they brought us into some really good rooms and some really good crowds. Yeah,
I was curious if the crowds were crowds that were typically listening to your genre of music, or if they were, if this was one of their first times being exposed to that.
I feel like it was a good mix. Like Israel has a very live, like he had his full band. And it was just me and my brother. So I feel like it was a good, like, what's the word? Not like warm up, but like just like a good opening act for them.
Yeah.
Being just us two. But some of the dynamics that I think we had were it mixed well. So I think the crowds were good for us too.
Yeah.
And the first time we went with Billy Law and us, and we were on the same label, and we were all really good friends, So it was fun, but it was a lot of people's first time over there hearing both of us.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and even though they were in the same genre, very different sounds at least.
Yeah.
So it's not just monotonous, but. What about like their local scene? Were there like locals that were getting on your bills with you at all?
We had, the second time we went.
Like, what's their culture of booking a show over there? Do they do it here where we want to put like 4 or 5 bands on a show, that kind of stuff?
I feel like it's pretty normal. Yeah. Like they they'll put 2 bands on, or
So did you get to meet any like local openers or anything?
We didn't. I don't think we ever met like any. We did. The first time we went, we got to meet. He goes by Money Brother.
Money Brother.
He like he's been around for a while and was like super popular, famous in.
I'm gonna get this fly by the way. This thing's
it's
driving
okay.
me crazy.
In like the early, I think 2000s.
Yeah.
And he played a show with us, and it was really nice because he can just pack rooms. So he packed this room. He was just playing acoustic, and it was the night that we were playing too. We were playing later.
Yeah.
And he was like telling all the people to stay. He had dinner with us before.
Man, that's some hospitality.
And now we formed a relationship. We got to sing on. Me and Levi went and recorded on some tunes with them the second time we were there.
That's real exciting.
And he's about to release a record. He just dropped a single, and it's really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, just getting to see his experience as someone who lives there. He tours in the U.S. as well. He comes over here sometimes, and I mean, we would tell other people. They're like, "Where are you staying?" Because he opened his home for us to stay with him and his family.
Mm-hmm.
We're like, "Oh, we're staying with, Money Brother." That's what he goes by.
which when you hear Money Brother, you don't think acoustic act.
You really, yeah, and you don't. And his full band, his music is definitely has more dynamics and energy.
Yeah, but
than
here
just
we would be
that.
thinking like, oh, this is like a new hip hop thing.
Yeah, it's like
something.
a hip hop or a rapper,
yeah.
right? Yeah, but people would be like, "Are you serious? Like, there's no way, And like, no, we are. He's letting us stay with him. And then the second time we went over, we stayed with him again, and he was like, y'all come sing on some of these tunes. I think it would be cool. So he's just a super good guy, and I mean, like his family is beautiful, his home is beautiful. So
isn't it weird how you can be, there's levels of fame, right? Where it's like, there are people in these other countries who are so super famous that they can't even get a meal.
yeah,
And if they came over here, we would have no clue, and vice versa, right? It's like
100%.
there's just people who are just so wildly famous in one area, and then you realize, like, man, yeah, that country, it's only got 300 million people, and there's 8 billion people in the world, so the majority of the world still doesn't know who this person is.
Yeah, 100%.
But in your little bubble, it just seems
it's like
oh my
wild.
God.
Yeah, and I mean, it's crazy,
Yeah.
and it's crazy too because like I said, people were like, "Oh my God, like you're staying with him?" You're saying, "That's crazy."
Yeah.
But like him and his family are just like good people.
Just
like
people.
Like we cooked. Do you know David Forsythe?
Yeah,
Yeah. So
we actually are. We got a date for him coming in November.
perfect.
Mhm.
Yeah. He was there with us. He was playing.
Oh, awesome!
In Billy Law's band and doing some of his solo stuff too. And
Mhm.
he cooked we cooked like this big barbecue plate meal, because his son was like, we want barbecue. Cook
Yeah.
us some barbecue.
Yeah.
That was like the trade off. Like, we'll cook you barbecue if we can stay.
Oh, nice.
And so David, he used to.
He knows
What
what
do
he's
you
doing.
call it? Like a pit master, or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
He knew what he was doing, and cooked him up this big plate, and
Boy, that
yeah.
right there, that'll bring world peace real fast. won't it?
seriously, food. Come
Dude,
on now.
I mean, especially barbecue.
Especially barbecue.
I feel like if you took Texas barbecue around the world, people would be like, yeah, they're all right.
Yeah.
They're all right.
All right. Well, yeah. All right. They're good.
I mean, there's some great clip. I don't know if it's Texas barbecue, but it's good barbecue from, USA somewhere.
Yeah.
Some part of the South where they just crush it. And these people are from, I think they're from England, and they're just like reviewing food or something, and they stopped in this guy's barbecue place, and they're eating it. And when the barbecue gets there, they've got like a fork and knife.
Yeah.
And the guy comes over, and he's like, I know you don't mean to do this as an insult. He's like, but you have to put those down now. Like the fork and the knife. He's like, you grab it with your hand and you eat it. he's like coaching him a little bit.
Yeah, he's like telling him how to
He's
eat
like, I
it.
know you don't know.
Yeah.
But like this is
But this
basically
is
about to make me really mad.
Right.
And then, it was like you saw them, it was this whole experience, like they pick it up, and then when they realize you don't need a fork, like it just falls off if you take a bite, and it's
Right.
all of a sudden their world is just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
This is wow. And it's like right there. That's it. That's all the healing we need.
That's it.
We should just take some Texas barbecue to Ukraine, Russia.
Yep.
What's going on? The other one, Israel, Palestine.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I don't think they were going to eat that, but
You put food and that's true.
we'll find something different for them.
Food and music together though, and I mean
Dude.
it's people start to really come together.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, man. It's because you realize it's like if you were at like a 4th of July picnic or something, right? That food's going around, there's a good band on stage. It's like everyone's having a good time, and you start realizing, man, people are just people. It's like we're all just stuck on the internet so much that we think we all hate each other, but we don't really hate each other.
We don't. I feel like it's a like core part of like humanity.
Yeah.
It's like I feel like when we have people have different opinions or like if you put them in a situation where their only purpose is to argue about that thing, then all of a sudden you start to have this back and forth, but you put them in this place of like music and food, and you're just sitting at the table. Okay, now we can have a conversation that's has a loose setting and like like okay, we have these differences, but like we're sharing barbecue and there's some good music, so like
and it's so easy to just be like, in that setting to just be like, yeah, man, I don't know, that's crazy, that's not for me, but like, hey, do your thing, and it's like it's so much easier to be understanding. I really think the pendulum of society, at least in America, might be swinging back to the middle, because I feel like 90% of Americans are pretty in the center, where they're like, hey, I like some of these ideas from this side, I like some of these ideas from this side.
Exactly.
And if you and me were to go through the nuances, which we're not going to, of like things like gun control, abortion, all the stuff we always fight about, right?
Right.
We're probably going to agree on 90%. And then the 10% we'll have a couple different opinions on, and then we'll just be like, well, I don't know, man. We'll see how it goes. And that's
what it is. Yeah,
we're not going to be like, you know what, dude? Never come back to my podcast. Never. I'm going to boycott your album.
Yeah.
And I think what we just saw was, like two extremes. So unfortunately, that guy Charlie Kirk got killed.
Right.
And then not as extreme, but Jimmy Kimmel just lost his show.
Yeah.
Both things are for people's opinions, right?
Right.
And Kimmel, everybody on one side was very upset about the Charlie Kirk thing, and they're like, you shouldn't die from freedom of speech, right?
Right.
And then it was like the other side, Kimmel's more liberal, and people are like, you shouldn't get fired for freedom of speech. And it's like, yeah, you're both right. You're both right.
Right.
And Kimmel's just now getting his show back
I
today.
saw that today.
And it's like, there you go. So it's like the fact that it was less than a week and he's getting his show back. Because it's like, well, what late night host doesn't pick on the president, and pick on every single one? I grew up in the golden age of Conan O'Brien's late night show, and they ripped on everyone. And so it's like, whether or not you agree with that opinion, nobody should be like losing jobs. Nobody should be getting killed. This is America. You can have an opinion,
And a lot of these, late night hosts are comedians, or they're, so like,
why are we taking it that seriously?
Yeah, like they're there to do that. Like,
yeah.
Well,
it's like, if you don't like something, just change the channel. If I don't like your music, I can just leave the venue.
It's
or
you can leave the venue.
Yeah, we could. Whatever happened to just going, not for me,
and that's okay.
Not my thing. But we're in a spot where like everybody. But like when you're in person, can you remember the last time you were in like a shouting match with someone over an opinion?
Oh God,
I don't know. I can't remember a time where
no.
I've heard crazy opinions in public, and it just is like, well, cheers, man. What are you drinking? Let me get you another beer. We gotta head out over here though. Like have a good night.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's all civil. Talking about Dallas too. Sons of Herman Hall. It's right over there by Double Wide.
Yep.
I feel like that's a great bar for that example. I think I've talked about that on here.
Double
You'll
Wide.
go in there. Yeah. So many different types of people, right? You got like the true deep Elm lovers. You got the SMU crowd that filters in. You got some blue collar people just dropping in after work, and then you got people there for a concert or something. It's just this mix. And I don't see any like barroom brawls going down there.
No.
I see people just drinking, having a good time,
100%. I think that's the majority of the people.
That's it.
Like, yeah. It's like, good on you. Do you?
Yeah.
Like,
we'll see how it works out, right?
See how it goes, like, yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Music's going back to that way too, where I think we're about to get into a really diverse age of music. Like the music's been diverse for a while,
right?
But I think because of streaming, it's like it's really hard to find that variety sometimes, even though it's all there.
It is, yeah.
But I think people are starting to get more eclectic with their taste again.
I think so. I think people are exploring more of like, what. I do it a lot where I'm in Spotify or, and I'm looking. I'm like digging. I'm like, who can I, who can I find that's new that
Yeah.
I can, and I'll press the first song on one of their records, and if I'm like, okay, I like that, then I let it go. And then song 2, or then.
Do you go the first song on a record, or do you go the first song on their little popular list? What do you like to do?
I change it up every now and
Yeah.
then. Sometimes if I'm like going quick,
Mhm.
I'll go through the top. If I'm just like, I'm going to like listen to like 30 seconds here and there or a minute just to see like, is it something that, because sometimes it's day to day too. Like sometimes it's not that I don't like the song or the music,
Yeah.
but it's more the fact that like, that's not what I'm wanting to listen to that day or that moment.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I have those artists too where I've listened before and I'm like, I'm not really feeling that right now. And then like 2 months later, I'm like, oh, I remember this. And all of a sudden I've liked like 5 songs off of one of their records,
Okay. So second, a little follow up on that. If you're gonna listen to the album, right? Do you like to go for the most recent album, or do you like to go for the early album? What do you usually go for?
I feel like I usually go to the first record. I want to hear where they started
Yeah.
a lot. And then sometimes I'll jump from the first record into like a middle record to see like, okay, I kind of saw where they started.
Mm-hmm.
Like where are they at like 5 records down the line?
Yeah.
And then sometimes I feel like that gives me, because I mean, an artist can change record to record. It's not, but sometimes I feel like it gives me a little bit of a gauge of like, have they gone far from that first thing, or are they still kind of doing that?
Yeah.
But like I said, I mean, their third record could be completely different than the fifth
Yeah.
and the first,
So if somebody stumbles across your albums now,
right.
now that you got the second one out, are you hoping they listen to the newest one or the first one?
I think now I'm hoping they listen to the newest
Yeah.
one. Maybe like,
It's weird, right, that you have to even decide.
maybe like 2 years down the line when they're both kind of older, then I'll be like, I listen to whatever. But I think the second one definitely shows you like a growth or like a
100%, man. Well, the whole time you're talking about the traveling and stuff, it's like you hear it in the album. You hear that you're playing shows, you're
Right.
getting out there in different environments. There's a maturity that comes with just playing for 4 years, and
for sure.
and just being exposed to these different things, and just like being 4 years older,
Yeah.
just growing as a person, but definitely traveling and playing. It's like it's so many bands who kind of stay local, and there's various reasons, right? Some of it's, you got to make money in a job, blah, but most of it is fear, right? Like you could find a way, even if you just hopped over for a week or two somewhere else.
100%.
And it's like, but I feel like just playing on stages that you're not used to people that are not, people from here. Even if you're playing to people here that you don't know, that don't know your music, there's still just a culture that you're used to.
Right.
There's a comfortable feeling on stage. And I feel like when you
100%.
even just getting out of the state, it's like those Oklahoma people are going to be a little different.
They are.
Arkansas, New Mexico. It's like just start getting out. And then especially going to Europe, it's like I think it makes you grow as a performer because you realize like I got to be on my A game all the time.
Yeah.
All the time, right? And then 2, it's like just learning, oh, they find that song more interesting.
It is interesting. Yeah.
Weird. Okay. This
Yeah.
is our popular one here, but this one's popular over here.
Over there, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it
But
is
you hear it
interesting.
in the record for sure.
Thank you. I appreciate
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've had people tell me like, like, oh, I feel like your voice has grown, or or you have a more mature voice, which I mean, like, I feel like any artist, no matter what you're doing, I feel like as you continue down your path, you start learning things, and you kind of go, okay, I can use this now as a tool, or I can, the more you just do something, you're kind of like, okay, I know how to control it a little bit better.
I was going to say what I hear in your voice on this second record compared to the first, because you're a naturally softer singer to begin with, right?
Right.
Which there's like a fallacy for people thinking if you're singing softer, it's easier. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because there's how many countless examples. There'll be like just like a hot woman who covers like a Rolling Stone song and she just does the whisper voice and it's slow and moody and people are like, it's so good. And it's like, yeah, it's good. But they'll think like, oh, that's easy. She just did like this little whisper vocal, you know? And it's like, no, but there's a level of control.
There's so much control.
And nuance to it.
Yeah.
And so on your first record, probably because you guys had the shorter studio time, it's like, it's not bad, but now that the new record's out, now you see like, okay, you were still finding a lot of that comfort in it probably.
Yeah. 100%.
Throughout over the whole thing, you know, not on any particular song or anything. And that's what you hear on this one is it's just like, okay, well, after that many hours and years of singing on stages, you've gotten more comfortable with your style of singing now.
Yeah, 100%. I think even some of the songs from the first record, like we went to Sweden the first time, you know, like Front Porch Rain, like
That was literally the song I'm thinking about.
We were like figuring out things with playing it at like after the record had come out, where I was like, oh, when we play it like this or when I sing it like this, I like it better.
Yeah. And you never would have figured that out without playing the way y'all did.
No, and you don't. And that's that's one of the hard things I feel like about doing records is like you really are capturing like a place in time because you're doing those songs how you know to do them at that moment, right? Or in that time. After they're recorded and released, you may figure out something 3 months down the road with one of those songs that you're like, oh, this is a whole new like way of doing this song. And it's not like, oh, I wish we would have recorded it that way, but it's kind of like, that's why records are beautiful though, is because like you're capturing that time period.
That was you then.
That was you then. That's how you did it then. So
well, and the beauty of that too is at some point, right, you guys are going to keep doing what you're doing. You're going to grow to the point where you can release like a live album or something. And then it'll be, oh my God, did you hear how they adjusted it from the, you know, the original?
Yeah.
And they can just both live as two separate things that are fun, you know.
100%.
Or, you know, if you decided down the line you wanted to just re-record, you know, almost like you're doing your own kind of greatest hits or something.
Yeah, you could re-record them. And
you know, it's like, there's been a lot of bands who there'll be like 3 different versions of one song, you know.
You could do an acoustic version of a song. I know a lot of groups who do that because, I mean, there's that thing too of like, man, there's this full band sound, but there's a way to do this song acoustic that's pretty cool too. So I've seen, I mean, like Noah Gunderson, you know, he's one of my favorites, and he has a lot of these really like huge, big band songs that he also releases like these acoustic versions of, and I'm like, I love them both, and I love that you recorded and put out both of them. Yeah, because people want to hear both of these versions, you know. So.
What really turned my opinion on that, because I used to kind of not like that. You know, I would want to pick like, this is the version that you should. Yeah. And there was no real rationale behind it. But did you ever check out any of Sturgill Simpson's bluegrass albums that he released?
I don't know. I've heard some. I like Sturgill.
So, you know, a lot of his albums are all really different. Yeah. So when he did his bluegrass albums, he did a 2-volume. So it's like, I think it's 2 double vinyls. Gotcha. It's a lot of songs.
That's a lot, yeah.
And it's called Cutting Grass, and he's on like a lawnmower. I love it because what I love about it the most is, you know, there's a lot of like folky and country artists now who want to dress up like they're performing in the 60s. Yeah. Which is fun if that's you. Right. You know, it's like, I think Sierra Farrell probably really wants to be that way. Yeah. And it's like, that seems honest and true. Like,
it
she just
like
thought,
it matches
this is a beautiful dress that I've always wanted to wear.
Right,
and it's like, all right, cool, do your thing. You know, you seem like an original that's just, you know,
that's what you
drawing inspiration from the style you love.
Right.
But then there's like a lot of phonies. You know what I'm saying? And what I love about Sturgill is like on that bluegrass record, there was no like, all right, we're going to put on our overalls and our cowboy hat, and I'm going to put some straw in my mouth, and I'm a cowboy, you know? It's literally him on like a John Deere riding mower wearing like Van slip-ons. I love it. You know, and it's like, because it's like, yeah, man, that's how a lot of people listen to country music these days. They're like normal people. Not everybody has a ranch anymore, you know? Yeah. And, but the songs were not original songs. He just reworked his songs from all the other records into bluegrass songs.
I love that.
And so that is kind of what sold me on these.
I got to go listen to this record.
It's pretty cool. If you know any of the other songs, it's like just find one you know and then listen to the bluegrass version. And he did all the, you know, it's like if it was slower on this album, it's probably faster on this one now, and vice versa. And it's just beautiful. And you realize, like, you look on the you look at the picture like in the vinyl of the people he's playing with, and it's like, he didn't pick like, oh, I'll get this banjo player because they're famous and that collab will help me get more streams and move more whatever, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
It just looks like people he found in whatever area he's from where it's like, no, this is like the best banjo player. You know, he's 93 years old. We got to wheel him in a wheelchair. But once you get him in front of that mic, he's great.
He's the best.
It seems like he just picked people who were awesome and he connected with. And
Yep.
it's like back to that version of music where it's like, yeah, we don't need to make you a product. We just need to make some great music.
That's it. Yeah,
And
I love
but
that.
both those bluegrass albums, I was like, okay, I
need to
guess I'm a
listen to
bluegrass fan now.
I know. I need to listen to these.
I think I got jaded with country music because there's so many phony versions of it that when you hear an original, even you're like, okay, we're gonna
Yeah.
pretend again, huh? But it's like I had to start getting past that to realize no, there's still a lot of genuine people making music in that genre. You
Yeah,
know?
I feel like I'm a huge fan of like Brent Cobb.
I'll have to check that out.
You have to check Brent
Yeah.
Cobb out. I feel like he's one of those guys. He just makes very like I feel like people would call it country,
Mhm.
and I feel like it is, but I feel like it's very it's like very homesick. Like it's very
Homesick.
It's like
What do you mean? Like got a voice that just makes you want to
yeah, it's
get
just
sad and cry, or
not
what?
really sad
Oh.
and cry, like almost like roll the windows down on a back, not in a way.
I know the feeling you're talking
not
about.
in a way of like country boy, but just like
No, you're cruising.
good old boy,
Yeah.
kind of like
Yeah.
you know what I mean. Like your cousin that would go on a drive with you, just to go on a drive with you, like it's
Yeah, man.
like green beans and cornbread.
Well,
you
we were
know
talking
what I
about.
mean?
We were talking about. We both grew up in small towns here in North
yeah,
Texas.
yeah.
That was a favorite pastime of mine. Like I don't
Yeah.
understand 16-year-olds now who don't want to get their license. And maybe it's that they're not in a small town, right?
Right.
But for me, it was like freedom. You know,
Oh,
and it wasn't
100%.
freedom of like I'm running away from home or anything. It was like, you mean I can just like drive to this spot, listen to a CD or something, and I can just go down these rock roads and just listen to music
Yeah.
and do. It's like it was my own personal time. So I know exactly what you mean, like having the windows down. You know, it's like you get a little bit of that cool night air. Turn the music up. You got the glow of the radio on. You know. Yeah, I get that, man. I'll have to check it out. Was
Yeah.
it Brent Cobb?
Brent Cobb, yeah, it's like, yeah, just like with food or like when you smell your like mom's cooking or your grandmother's cooking, like it's that like that's familiar and that feels like home to me.
Have
And
you listened to him
that's
for a long
what-
time?
I have.
What age do you think you were when you listened to that?
I probably started in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah, high school, college is when I started listening to him. But ever since then, like I've listened to everything he has, and it's.
Yeah.
But he can also. I mean, he just did some stuff that's like very rock and roll.
Mm-hmm.
He's a great guitar player, and so he's he's really good.
Yeah, it's just fascinating that music will bring you back to those places, right?
Oh, 100%.
You know, like if you go talk to some of his other fans, they'll be like, "What are you talking about? I think of this when I hear it." You know,
and you're like, "That's great, that's great," you know. But
Yeah.
I feel like that's an artist's dream. Is like when I make music and put it out, like you interpret it how you do, and that's great.
You know, I put out on social media, like if anybody had any questions for you. And one of the more interesting questions I saw was how you decide to go about promoting a record when you release it. Like, what is your whole vibe? Because musicians especially are the worst because it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I just want it to happen organically.
Yeah.
Like, but when you know you're going to release this record, you know, do you think, not what people are going to tell you, like, what do you think you want to do with it? And then you can tell me what people tell you should do with it.
Yeah, I feel like.
What was your idea? Like, all right, we got the songs, we recorded it, I'm going to name it this.
Yeah.
Now what?
I feel like I always attach like some sort of imagery to the songs. So I immediately start thinking of videos or just little clips, things like that. I feel like I'm terrible with social media. So I have to be very pushed so like State Fair had to push me pretty hard to be like.
That's the record label for people who don't know.
Yeah,
State Fair Records.
State Fair Records. They push me really hard, and I love that. I need that. And they did a great job of promoting it as well. And but yeah, I think for me,
What do they usually tell you? Like, hey, here's a good angle. Here's how we should promote this.
yeah, they're actually much more just like, hey, just post, like throw it out there. Let's get it out there. And I feel like the reason I'm a little tough with social media and stuff is just because I'm very much more like I need it to like be a very specific way. But sometimes it's like perfectionism, I think, more so than it is like.
What kind of way do you mean?
Like it needs to look a certain way, or I need to look a certain way, or
Mm-hmm.
and I get in my head a lot about that stuff instead of just being like, oh, I'm just me, like let's just put me out there. And that's what they're saying. And I'm like, and in my head, I get in my head where I'm like, oh, it needs to be perfect. Or I need to look a certain way. I need to do a certain thing. So
I'm from two schools of that, right? Because on one hand, I love guys like Jack White who have meticulous detail to images, right?
100%.
I love that.
Yeah.
But then like we were just talking about Sturgill, and he doesn't do that, period.
Right.
And it's like, here you are, you just got, a hoodie on that you like, a hat on that you like, and this is you.
That's it.
Right?
And I feel like that's what I should be doing.
Why do you think you need to do the image at all? Like, or not an image, but like, why do you want it to look a certain way? What do you think that's going to do for you?
I don't know. I think I've like seen things from other artists, I guess, that are cool and feel like they're done up a little bit. But
that's you also then, if that's where you're coming from.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it is. Yeah, but I think like you were saying earlier, like just hoodie and hat I like that me.
Yeah.
But I think I just get in my head when it comes to posting and being like, it's just perfectionism.
Can't you do both?
I can do both.
Like this week you have the more meticulous ones that you like, and then next week it's the more laid back.
I could do
mixed
both.
Bag.
It's a good idea.
Right, like, because that is you, right?
That's me.
I mean, the way you just described it, it's like you like both.
I like both. I really do.
Yeah. I think that would be the way to do it. It's just like, this is me, this is who I am. Some days I'd like this, some days I'm like that. I mean, that's the average person, right?
Yeah. I feel like that's like you're saying, like it's a way of showing like, here's me, but I'm also an artist. So sometimes I do things with an artist's vision or mindset. So it looks a little different. You may think, well, that's not really him, but it's like, no, he's just creating, or she's just creating. She's just has a vision for something that he's trying to put in play, So I need to do more of that, where it's like, this is just my vision, so I'm going to do that. And when I'm not doing that, I'm just me, So like, both work.
Do you find yourself getting more? I hate this question anyway, because I mean, do you value streams now? Like, what do you really want to? What do you really, when you try to gauge if your album's successful, what are you even concerned about, I mean, obviously you concern yourself with, I like the songs, I'm happy with the product.
Right.
But you do have a record label. They do want to see something,
Yeah.
I mean, like, are y'all looking at streams? Are you looking at social media?
I look at streams a little bit. I think with...
We're good. I'm just doing that paranoid check.
No, you're good. You're good.
My wife's super pregnant, so I'm worried I'm going to be in an interview.
Congratulations,
and she starts delivering.
That's beautiful.
And then you and me have to go to the hospital together.
Yeah, I'll go. I'll be quick.
But no, we were talking about when you release it, like, how are you kind of gauging its success? Streams, social media.
I think I look at streams some. I like to look at numbers. Like, I'm a sports fan too, and I love looking at stats. So I think it's just my way of getting my fix of just looking at numbers that pertain to me. So looking at those numbers, do you feel like you have more success with social media or more success with just getting out there and playing shows? I feel like I have more success playing, but I think some of that is probably just like me not doing social media, I think, the way that I should. I don't do it as often as I should, and I should be. I feel like I should be posting more, but again, I get into that like it has to be perfect instead of just being like it could just be you. But
if you're picking them up from playing shows, can you just book up a bunch of shows?
That's true. I could. I think some of the issue there is like you said earlier, especially when I play solo, a lot of it is slower, very like slower stuff, and so I just get kind of particular with like I could go play a bunch of shows or a bunch of rooms.
Well, I don't necessarily mean like high volume shows.
Right.
Play the things you want to, but that is one of the nice things that's your act is versatile.
Yeah.
You can go solo, you can do a duet with your brother, and then you can get some players together and do the band, right?
Yeah.
And is that when you and Billy Law went over there, is that how y'all did it, where you kind of shared? Were they like a backing band for you at times?
Well,
were y'all totally separate?
Yeah, he did. We did it separate. He did like a 3-piece. So he had him, he had a guy named Richie playing bass, and then David Forsythe was playing guitar. So it was just them.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then me and Levi were doing the duo set before them.
So nobody had a drummer.
So it was, no one really had like that full like kind of backing band style.
Right.
But I like that we have all three, and especially with this record, because like, I mean, the band really made this record what it is. I feel like, I mean, so there we can take these songs and make them duo and solo, where they do sound a little different. Mm-hmm. But I mean, I like that they're full band, and we can take the full band out and put some energy into it. So
yeah. I don't think about that, because when you're sitting here sweating social media so much, it's like, I don't know if that's the thing. If you go like talk to people who claim to have the answers, but they don't have success from their advice. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
Because people are like, you need to be on TikTok, you need to be on Facebook, Instagram, blah, blah,
right.
blah. X, you got to cover all your bases. And it's like, I've pretty much just gone down to Instagram now. I don't care about any of them. Yeah.
I feel like it's, you have to find a middle ground for some people.
Yeah. And the only reason it's Instagram is I like that.
Exactly. Yeah.
I had a Facebook page. I hated posting on it. It felt like everything was a scam to try to get me to purchase ads.
Right.
Or purchase, they wanted me to make it an ad, spend money for my followers to see it. It's like, well, I built up this following, and if I post something, none of them even see it unless I want to pay money. I'm not doing that. No. And so it's literally just, I have my personal page to just keep up with people I know, and I'll post it on there. It's like, it's even private, and it's like if it's a bigger post, it's like I might make that public or something. But, but yeah, I'm being less and less convinced that it's mattering anymore. I don't know.
I don't know. I wasn't big into social media before. I mean, like, I have it and I look at it, but I wasn't big into posting before I started playing music. So I think some of it was just that, where I was like, I'm playing music because I like to create and play music.
Yeah.
But then, when you start to put records together and, you have people in your corner, and it's like, okay, well, we need to...
Yeah, you want to do them justice.
You want to do them justice. Yeah, you got to work for it.
Yeah.
You have to put that work in for sure.
Also, though, to be fair, I'm sure the people working with your record label are my age or potentially older, right? And we're coming from a generation where social media was new.
Right.
And so we were the first generations to I remember playing a DIY punk rock show in Rockwall, Texas at a place called the Ice House that is no longer in existence. It was run by like a little mom and pop owner. And one of them was talking about like, have you seen this new thing, MySpace?
Yeah.
And he was like, it's going to change the world. And we were like, that sounds stupid. I don't know what that is. But sure enough, he was right. Like, it changed everything. And MySpace was incredibly successful for us. But that was back when social media was a little more true and honest. Right. So we were the first generation to see what social media could really do for you, right? And I think we're hung up on the golden era of social media and still struggling to admit that, like, no, it's a big business for selling ads now, and that's all it is. They're selling ads, and they're selling all of your data to companies to figure out how they can sell you more shit. And it's like, Meta owns Facebook and Instagram. They're both doing the same shit all the time, no matter how much they try and persuade you they're not. Allegedly, I assume they are, right? Yeah. And it's like, there's nothing. If somebody came out with a new platform that was like, yeah, you pay, $5 a month, but there's nothing. There's never any ads. It's all just chronological. You see your friends whenever they post. We don't recommend shit. That's it. I think people would even pay for that just to get off this other bullshit. Yeah. And so I think like the generations after us, right? The non-millennials, Gen Z and Gen Alpha especially, I think they're like, yeah, we saw what that did to y'all, and we're much less interested in this. And so I think people from my generation who are now running businesses, and they've seen how important that was in the past, are struggling to accept that now it's becoming more of a dumpster fire.
Right.
And it's becoming less genuine, less interesting. The people you're trying to reach with it are never going to see it anyway. Mm-mm. And the people who would probably love your music and come out to a show are probably turning off social media more and more.
Right.
So
it's like it's becoming more of that.
Yeah, so we're just yelling at who on social media?
Yeah.
Who
It's crazy. Like, I feel like even when you go, me and my girlfriend were talking about this the other day. Like, we were like, man, we go on Instagram or Facebook and like, you see like maybe one or two of your friends post, and then you get like 5, 6 just like either ads or posts that they're trying to recommend.
Yeah.
Right? Like posts that aren't your friends or you don't follow. I get posts all the time that have like the clear follow button in the corner of it where they're trying to get you to follow. It's like, not that that's bad, but it's like,
could we just have a...
this went from...
Could we temper it?
Right. This went from like seeing what our friends and family things are like up to, like seeing just that.
Yeah.
To now, like if you just keep scrolling, you can keep scrolling
Endlessly.
Like,
you'll never find the bottom. And none of it will be the people that you care about or love.
No.
It'll just be whatever reactionary, like, high, this is going to get a lot of clicks because it's controversial this way. Well, I mean, I had to like message a comic that moved, Scott Bedgood moved from here up to Tennessee. And I was like, hey man, I heard you're doing well in Tennessee. I heard you're working at these clubs and you're like, he's kind of building more there than he was building here. And he's like, yeah, you haven't been seeing any of my stuff? I was like, nope. Nope. We've been connected on this social media thing for years now, and I haven't seen one thing from you since you've left. Even before then, I was barely seeing anything from you. And on Instagram, too, it's like you can hit the upper area and select that you only want to see your friends. So if you remember every time you go in the app to do that, you'll see your friends.
Right.
But it's like, why isn't that the default? Why don't we just start with my friends, and then if I want to explore, I'll do that.
Yeah, that's why you had the explore button down there,
right?
So that you could.
It's just all it's
crazy.
Yeah, and it's like, all right. No, so I'm you know, I have to do it because of the podcast, just like you have to do it because of your band. But I'm becoming less and less convinced that any of it matters because my social media followings, they don't balance with my listenership,
right?
At all. And I'm sure you see the same thing, right? It's like, I'm sure if we go look at your social media following on Instagram, those numbers are probably different than your Spotify streams.
Yeah.
Significantly different. And
100%.
it's like, it's like I'm getting less and less convinced social media is a thing we need to
and
be a
it's
part
all
of.
like, I mean, even with like the reels and these kind of shorter clips, right? It seems like everything's sort of compressing in terms of like the content that you're putting out.
Yeah.
And it's like, when you're an artist, like I feel like that's very kind of opposite of what most artists are doing.
Yeah.
What most artists do is they create art that takes time, that takes, you know, like layers, that takes, you know, weeks, months, years to get to the finish.
Yeah.
And it's now they're like, oh, if you're an artist, you got to do the social media things, and you have to get these like 8-second clips. And I'm like, that can't even start to tell you what we're actually doing.
And I can't think of any of my favorite artists, new artists. I'm not talking about old ones, new ones who've been involved in social media, right? I haven't seen any of them where it's like, oh, if it wasn't for that 8-second clip, I never would have found my new favorite band. You find something that's interesting for a moment, but it's not ever really a long-term thing, right? You're like, oh, that was interesting. It's kind of gimmicky, you know?
Right.
But it's usually like Sierra Farrell's a great example. It's like she wasn't really playing that game. She was focusing on, she's got this incredible voice. She's writing interesting songs, and the industry and the people still found her somehow. If you look at her before, like now she's more famous, and so she has a social media presence. But go look at what she posts. It's not like, okay, here's a great 30-second. This is going to engage on this platform, blah, blah, blah. It's like she went to like a weird, like a weird store in whatever town she's touring in and bought some little trinkets that people like us are going to be like, what the fuck is that weird shit?
Right.
But she loves it, and so it won't have like a crazy description. It's just like, here's my interesting things. And it's like, you know, she like, have you seen her since she like capped her tooth with like a silver cap? And it's like, all this stuff would be the wrong way to do it. And look at her rising to success, just being honest and true to herself. And I was following her before she had this pop, thinking like she had popularity. I wasn't like, I found her, but just remember thinking like, why doesn't she have an album out? Why is she not doing this voice, blah, 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 blah. And she was always doing that weird shit back then too. It's like she hasn't really changed who she is, at least what I've seen on social media anyway.
Right. She just gained popularity.
Yeah, but if we were talking to experts, they'd be like, she's doing it the wrong way. And it's like, I don't know, man. I think she just focused on her craft, and that's what works.
And that's what comes through.
And if you're great, people find it.
People like that.
Mm-hmm.
Especially now, like you were saying, like because like you said, like social media was new for, like people that are like my mom or like my parents, like it was new for them, and it's
exciting.
But now you kind of see that it's taking this path of like, sometimes I look at social media and I'm like, to me, it seems like there'll be like a collapse of this stuff.
I wonder if millennials, my generation, I wonder if we're going to be looked at in history of like, oh, those were the people that got overwhelmed by the internet.
Right.
That was the culture that got overwhelmed, and we saw the worst.
Right.
And then we corrected and realized like the internet's good for this stuff. Let's not do that stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, are we just eating ice cream every day or for all three of our meals?
Right.
Are we the social media version or internet version of that?
Because
for us, it was like Gen X, the kids in high school, when I was in middle school, I thought were like the fucking coolest, They didn't get this stuff till they were well into their 20s, maybe even their 30s, right? So they lived the last true like American life without all that bullshit. And there's a reason you never hear about them.
Yeah.
Do you ever hear about Gen X causing problems? You don't. They just do their shit. And it's like millennials and beyond, because we were the first ones to get wrapped up and be like, we're connected around the world and blah, 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 blah. It's like, yeah, it's good if you use it the right way, but I don't think we are. Like I was thinking about, it's like, I'm 40. There's like there's a mom my age whose whole worth is on these TikTok videos and shit. And that's got to be crazy if you're like a middle school kid and you see like a millennial mom out like in the kitchen doing her dances and like, hey, be sure to hit that subscribe and blah, blah, blah. It's like, that's got to be weird. They got to be looking at us like we're insane.
Yeah, like,
right?
Yeah.
And so I think we definitely could be like, like you were talking about your mom, right? It's like, I bet your mom's on Facebook, but a bunch of her friends are on Facebook.
She loves posting.
Right? Loves Facebook.
Loves it. Yeah.
And I think we're going to see Facebook like age out. Like, I think they're going to be like, well, our biggest consumers, in 20, 30 years, it's like they're dying off.
Right.
And Facebook's going to collapse. And
it might.
I think that really could be it. Like, because you don't see like a lot of 12-year-olds being like, oh, I can't wait to start a Facebook account.
No.
That doesn't happen, right? And so that may be, I really wonder if we're just going to be this temporary generation where it's just like, damn, did y'all see how obsessed they were with that shit? Because it sounds weird, but do you ever hear about like in the 60s or something when they had like a weird weight loss pill that everybody was doing? Then you find out it's just legal speed. And it's like, now we don't do that anymore. It's like, but they were all hooked on it for, 4 or 5 years or whatever.
Right.
I wonder if that's what's going to happen with social media, if it just collapses completely.
Well, I think you see these levels of it, right? Like you saw like MySpace, and obviously that, then you see Facebook, right?
Yeah.
Facebook's the thing, and it, and then you see Instagram, right? And there's this new form of kind of that, and then TikTok, right? TikTok comes, and it's like, like, not that it demolished Instagram, but it was just all of a sudden a new form, like a new.
Oh, I mean, it definitely.
Right. Or they had Vine too, that had its moment too, like but I think with like what it does is now Facebook and Instagram goes, okay, but we need these reels, we need these shorts, right?
Yeah, now they're trying to copy TikTok.
Is. That's what TikTok is.
And that to me, it's like, man, I think you're going to bury yourself if you just made it what you were,
right?
And leave it, because Instagram used to literally be no videos, just pictures.
Yep.
And it's like, you should bring that back. I bet people would love only looking at pictures again. And if they want videos, 100%. They'll go to TikTok,
100%.
I mean, well, like your guitarist, it's like when you just see a picture of like a beautiful guitar.
Oh, I love it. That's why I'm a huge Pinterest fan.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Pinterest. I love Pinterest because it's, there are more ads, but it's just photos, and it's photos of things that I like or that inspire me, or places that I would want to go, or houses that I would want to live in, or like, right? And
less opinions going around.
Yeah, less opinions and less like, but there is still this aspect where like I can send something to Levi, or we start a board together, like.
Yeah. Well, that can still be used as a tool.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Man, maybe they're going to be the sleeper. Maybe they'll be the social media that survives.
I hope so.
Yeah.
The only and the way that they could do that is probably not turning into much of a social media.
No. Well, because, there's a whole culture like yourself that depends on Pinterest for inspiration.
100%.
And when I can see what Sally in Michigan did when she built this shelf, to inspire how I'm going to do it. And there's not a whole lot of just, like, I built this because of my political beliefs or whatever. It's like, Jesus Christ, Facebook. Can we have one post without that?
100%.
And yeah, you might be right. Pinterest might be the OG that hangs in there.
And I've put because you can put your own pictures and stuff on there, right? But it's not because I've put my own photos on there, like stuff that I've taken, like film camera.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so fun because you're putting pictures out there, but it's very like you don't know where they go really. Like they're just coming onto this feed that people could scroll through, and you can comment, but you don't see very many comments. Like when I go to comments on Pinterest, there's maybe one or two on a lot of these.
It's still kind of weird.
And they're like, and they'll be
great
like
color.
Yeah, 100%. They're short, like fantastic or great or like.
Yeah.
So maybe Pinterest is the one that.
You know what keeps me on Facebook is these comedians that I work with. They love Facebook.
They love it.
They love it. And it's crazy to me to think that they actually want to be there. But it's like this void they can shout these opinions into. And but they've created a network amongst themselves. Like they book shows this way, and that's how they network. And
I do feel like I watch more comedy on shorts than I do a lot of things.
Yeah.
So I do watch a lot of like comedy on like Instagram and Facebook.
But the whole thing too of like shorts. Like if you wanted to film, did y'all film any music videos yet?
We did.
Did you release them?
Well, it's not released yet.
Okay.
But
I was gonna say I haven't seen any. So anyway, those music videos coming up, right? Mm-hmm. It's like they're probably gonna talk to you about like clipping small parts out, 30 seconds, a minute and a half. And it's like, what are we doing to this song? Cutting it down.
Yeah.
We're saying like, okay, this part, this swell, this stereotypical high point of the song is what we're going to market it with, right?
Right.
Meanwhile, the first thing I noticed with your new album was like, ooh, I like this reserved intro on song number 1 we're starting with. Where's this going,
Right.
And it's like settling me into what we're about to do, creating that environment,
Right.
And that goes back to like a lot of my generation who's putting out like how-tos and tutorials, like if you want to do this, blah, 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 blah. Meanwhile, without any real massive success to back it up, right?
Right.
Because the truth is nobody knows what they're doing, and you just got to do your thing, and it's all luck.
You got to do your thing.
But it's like, hey, the most popular forms of media right now are like long-form discussions on, like Joe Rogan's show, whether you like him or not, is the biggest.
Yeah, and they're always like 3 hours long.
3 hours. He has something like 5 hours.
Yeah.
But you're telling me people will only digest a minute and a half. I don't buy it.
That's crazy.
I don't buy it. I think somebody wants to see your whole music video, even if it has an intro, or whatever. It's like, I think people want to see, like, what's this guy's artistic thing that he's doing, And I don't believe the hype that we have short attention spans. I think if you're giving people fast food content, it feels that way. But I think if you give them real work, not content, like we made this music video, you were meticulous about the look that you were talking about, just like you are with your post and things.
Right,
I want it
right.
this way. I had these images in my head when I wrote the song. I think people connect with that,
I think so
and
too.
that's the path. And I know a record label, like your record label would probably not agree with this discussion, but
well, they're very much like, I mean,
I know they're probably cool people, and they're
amazing.
They're trying
people.
to run a business also, which is important. I respect that.
They are, yeah, absolutely.
But I think those old ways are dying faster than we think.
Yeah, I think there definitely will be a new like wave of, especially some of the younger. Like, I mean, I already know a bunch of people like my age that are already starting to be like, I want a flip phone because I need off of all of this,
bro. I grew up with the Nokia phones, where not even a touch screen, just the numbers. Like, dude, you could text while you're driving and not even look.
Yeah.
It was the life. That was the I was thinking about that even with cars, like. I'm so sick of screens and touchpads in cars. I want a radio that's just the radio station number and the time.
And a CD
and I just
player
want a CD player, and I just want knobs.
Yep.
And if I need GPS, I'll use my fucking phone, right? I'm not using this big screen anymore.
No.
And I was thinking about how like maybe early 2000s was the best blend of technology and advancement, but like quality analog, like the best kind of blend of those things.
Right.
Where like your car has a backup camera, but other than that, we're going to keep it pretty simple.
Yeah.
Like you got some safety things that are great, but like do I need an LED strip that goes the entire inside cabinet of my car? Like, is this some kind of weird status thing that actually is going to make me feel important? Have you ever looked in a car and be like, damn, they must have it together. Look at the size of that screen.
Seriously.
Nobody thinks that way.
No, and some of these screens are like huge.
Insane. And it's like, all that's doing is driving the cost up for things we need because of shit we don't want on the things we need.
Yeah. These screens will I've seen them at night, if you're just like parked in a parking lot or something and like going into a restaurant.
Yeah.
These screens will light the entire car by themselves.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can see inside your car because of your screen.
Well, and you were talking about like driving with the windows down, listening to music with your buddy.
Yeah.
I had a 95 Ford F-150 when I was in high school. And I think like the gauges were just that soft green glow.
Yeah.
And so was the radio. And it's like
perfect.
And you could like even dim that down just a little where you could almost barely see it. And it's like something about that just dim.
It gets real dark, but but you have like enough
to see what I'm doing, but it was like moody where it's like when you're in the car, it's still dark when you're driving. And the headlights weren't these crazy LEDs. So like you could be on a country road and it wasn't like you were blasting it with all this white light. You felt like, man, I'm on a country road just cruising,
Yeah.
Why am I trying to blind this armadillo?
100%, dude. Like the lights are crazy. Like I had a 91 Ford, and it was my grandfather's truck in high school. I wish I had it today. But Levi just got a 94.
Oh yeah.
And it's beautiful. I mean, when I drive it, I'm like, I told him that I drove it the other day.
Is it just like a single cab pickup or what is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just
a
like
Ford?
Yep, Ford. And
94?
94.
Yeah, so I know the exact that was the same. Mine was a 95. So it's got curved headlights on it probably.
Yeah, it's huge. It's like, I think it's long bed.
Is it a 4-door?
No, it's
2-door
with
a long bed. There you go, man.
Yeah, it's so, dude, it's beautiful.
And when you look at that, you go, well, that's what a truck was, right? Like even a man who needed a truck, it's like they were probably taking their car around town, and the truck was when you had shit to do.
100%.
You know what I mean? And it's like, why did we get away from all that? And it was simple,
Crazy.
right? Like, you could just reach in and change the bulb of the headlight. There was no drama. It's like now I have a Toyota, which is a good truck, and it's fairly simple. But even that, it's like I had to change the spark plugs the other day, or like last year or something. I don't know. And I had to like remove part of the fender well to change a spark plug. It's like, what the hell are we doing?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Why is everything so complicated? Which is a very like, this sounds like I'm 70 years old already, but but I do think younger people are starting to appreciate that. Like, okay, we've overcomplicated a lot of shit.
Yeah, I feel like once you go and you do like I said, I took his truck out the other day. He let me drive it into town, but like. Kind of down towards Bishop Arts.
Yeah.
And I came back and I was like, dude, that just driving like with the windows down and driving that truck like healed me.
It's fun.
It was 15 minutes, probably 15, 20 minutes. And I was like, it made me happy. Like I was happy.
Yeah.
I could have kept going.
It's something about, there's like a certain level of connection with machines that is awesome.
Yeah.
Like that truck is just mechanical enough that you feel like you're engaged with that experience.
You really do. You feel
it's the same as when you put a record on versus streaming, right?
100%.
It's a small difference. I'm putting a thing on this circle and then I'm dropping a needle. And I didn't really contribute much outside of that, but just that action, I feel like we're connected a little more now.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with those trucks, It's like there's not all these aids helping you drive.
Oh.
And it's like, yeah, we save a lot of lives. That's good for the average person driving. But there is something to be said about like, hey, you could put all those safety things on, and then you could also just like scale the rest of the car back a little bit.
Yeah.
Like give us the airbags, give us the cameras, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But like, let's go back to like a regular dash, all this stuff,
And those trucks are like heavy, dude. They're like metal. Yeah. So they're
probably getting expensive now because now they're hitting that range of being collectibles, right?
Collectibles, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, when you see somebody who's got the money to like redo one, you're just like, damn, that's cool.
It's way cool.
Can't believe I ever sold that F-150. I could have just held it.
Speaking of media, I love watching videos of people who work on cars. I don't know how to work on cars very much.
Yeah.
I do appreciate driving his truck. I love driving the truck that I had in high school, but
yeah. Well, yeah, you don't have to know how to work on it to know what you like.
Yeah, 100%. You can still like it.
You can tell when somebody. I saw this guy. I just found him today. This is like the best version of social media that I still cling on to, where I'm like, okay, I'm not leaving.
Right.
But he was a British guy. His name is Francis, and he's dorky as hell. He is like as British as you can imagine, where he's like, well, I bought this car today, and it's like just so reserved, and it's almost like he's a caricature of a British person, you know, like he's wearing a tweed jacket and stuff. He bought this Honda car, the small Honda hatchback called a Jazz, Honda Jazz. And so just think little Honda hatchback.
Right.
It's pink. Okay? He bought a pink one. And I don't know why. I just found out about him today. But the reason I found the video is he bought this car. It had all this rust on the bottom. It was kind of trashed out. And he sent it to a shop, and they like repaired all the rust. But then they put a really fast like Honda Civic Type R motor in it. So now all of a sudden this pink dorky car driven by this dorky British dude is just this sleeper fast car. And it's like he was so happy having this combination of being like, the car matches my reserved like weird personality. But if I pull up next to like a fast car, I can actually like drive fast and it'll blow their mind. And it's like the silliness of it. And it's like
I can surprise people with this.
Yes, but it was still like a practical car that you could drive every day. And it's like, God, I love watching people be creative like that.
I know.
And again, this wasn't like a minute-long clip. I'm watching like a 3-4 minute video.
Yeah. So
I don't believe in that short-form content. I think if it's interesting like that and honest, I never thought I'd be jealous of a person named Francis with a pink Honda Jazz.
But you are.
You know what I mean? And it's like, here we are.
I think that's cool. I think it's cool.
It's like, I'm still clinging on to like, those were the best days of social media. That's what it was all like when we first got on it. Yeah. And I don't know, maybe these big companies will just clean house, but I think they're selling so much data now, they'll never do it. But it's like, I would love to just watch people build Ford F-150s all day. You know?
Yeah. And I think
like, I would love to see you on your social media, like sharing that kind of stuff that you like. You know what I'm saying?
That's
like,
what I need.
that's your
that's
honest,
what I need to
That's
post.
the honest version of you, right?
100%.
It's like I'd be like, huh, he likes these trucks. That's cool. And then I would go check all that out. And it's like, you know, maybe you and your brother go to like a truck show or something where they're all doing that. It's like I would love to see that.
Yeah, we're currently he has his a lot. He's worked on his a lot more, but we have 2 like 70s Honda bikes.
That
we've been trying. We had this thing for a while where we would turn on these like old like 50s, 60s like desert racing videos.
Yeah,
where people would have these like just real like simple like. Because you see some bikes that are very built up and very.
Well, it's like the street. Here's what they're called. They're called desert sleds.
Yeah,
they're street bikes back then because they didn't have the. It wasn't like the big dirt bike industry they have now.
Right.
And they put like some knobby tires and some minor modifications. Because I bought a motorcycle several years ago that Ducati made called a desert sled. Yeah. And that's what it was mimicking was those guys.
Yeah.
So it was like a street bike that was kind of like a dirt bike, kind of like a street bike, and it was awesome. I loved that motorcycle.
Yeah.
So you got the real deal that mine was
like
mimicking.
Yes. One's a CB and one's a CL, I think. And my brother knows more about them. He's worked on them longer, but I was glad to get one just because I was like, I want to start learning this stuff, learning how to rebuild them. But
are you riding them already? Like, are they functional?
No.
Okay, so
he's got his turning over, and so he's got his a little bit closer. But I think we got him like probably 2 months ago.
This, from my opinion, okay, and when you leave this podcast, you can think about it, but that's the shit you need to put on your social
100%.
It's just what you like, and then mix in like, the music here and there. But instead of forcing a post, it's like, I would love to watch the journey of these 2 brothers who make music together who are also trying to fix their motorcycles up and just take them for a ride.
100%.
And it's like, when you get them running and you go on your first ride, I'm going to be on my phone being like, damn.
Yeah,
we did it. Like I was involved somehow.
When we load him up in the 94 Ford that he has too, it's like, that's like the dream. Like that's what we want to do. And
I think the more that people find out about that, the more they end up just connecting with you and your music anyway.
Yeah, you're connecting with the person, and I guess that's the music and the bike. Everything is a part of that person.
Mm-hmm. That's your social media. You just do the things you want, right? Like if you want to curate a meticulous picture with this style, it's like, do that. And then when you guys are working on the bikes, take a shot of that. Doesn't even have to be a video, just a picture of these cool bikes. It's
100%.
like all the shit you're looking at on Pinterest, that's what those people are doing. It's just what they like.
And I think I
think that's your move.
I'm coming around to that of like, okay, you just have to, just whatever you like, that needs to be the focus. Like,
because if nobody loves it,
Yeah.
right? Worst case scenario, you do all this, none of it gets any type of engagement at all. But then, like, a few years from now, you look back and it's like you like your own page. You know what I mean? You're just like,
Right.
oh, I remember when we did that. That was fun. And it's like that's really what the basis of all this was about, was just
100%.
holding on to these memories of these
that
fun
you could
moments.
come back to, and
Yeah. And yeah, man, because already I'm like, yeah, we talked about the record. What about these bikes? Like,
100%. Like, the record's out. Like, what are the bikes? You know,
yeah,
like,
dude.
And I
Do you
yeah.
ride at all, or you're also going to have to learn how to ride a
This is
motorcycle?
this will be my first time. I used to have like a Honda 250 like sport 4-wheeler.
Okay.
So I used to ride that a lot. I was like a 5
That'll
year.
translate. I grew up riding dirt bikes.
So
Yeah.
and it was fast. I mean, me and my buddy both had these like pretty
Yeah.
fast 4-wheelers that
Yeah.
we would ride around, and so I love being on like I love being on that type of stuff. But yeah. So we've been finding these, like, one good thing about Facebook is the marketplace. You know what I mean? So we've been finding these old bikes that, you know, these dudes will have like 6 or 7 of them in there, you know, that they're selling. And, you know, we were both like, we want to find some that we have to fix up. We don't want to buy them.
Yeah.
Where they're
You
already
want to go on
running.
the journey here.
Yeah, we want to go on the journey. That's
Yeah.
part of it. And
You want to crack your knuckle when that bolt seized.
That's right.
Cuss in the
And,
garage.
yeah, and that way when we're in the middle of the desert, like, putting these things in, you know, in the ground, that like we know how to fix them too. And
Yeah.
because that's the point. We're very much not like, once we get these built up, we want them to be like pristine. Like, no, we want to like run these things into the ground a little bit and have to fix them up again. You know?
Yeah,
Like,
use them for what they're made for.
that's right. That's
Yeah.
right. So
Yeah, man. That's like when you see somebody who buys a like a Lamborghini or something, and then they go drive the shit out of it. And
Yeah.
all the comments are like, "What are you doing? You don't even deserve it." It's like, no, man. That's what you do.
that's what this car's fast.
Yeah,
that's what I'm doing.
You think this car's going to be here in 200 years? Nobody's going to give a shit about that car.
No.
Everything we care about right now is going to be gone in a couple hundred years.
Yeah.
Live it up and enjoy it, you know?
Got to.
Yeah, man. It's like eventually it's just going to rust away, so why not?
100%.
Yeah, man. That's going to be super fun. I love motorcycles so much. I sold the one I had, and then I don't know when I'm going to get another one, but I've got that itch again to get another one. But I have no idea what I want now. You know, because I don't have the budget to have all the ones I would love to have, obviously, right? You know, so it's like you got to choose. Do you want like the cool vintage bike like you have? You know, do you want a fast bike? Do you want a dirt bike? Maybe I just want a dirt bike, right?
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
and it's like you have to choose. But I don't really care about going super fast. It's the equivalent of driving down that country road with the windows down we were talking about. We live here in East Dallas. It's like, I just want to hop on the motorcycle, go for a drive around White Rock Lake, maybe go get some lunch or something. I just like cruising on it, you know?
Yeah, we were both like, had this like, we were like, how do we put this into words? And we were like, we want to go fast, so like speed, but not like we're not rushing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
okay.
we want to use the bikes and like feel that, like, we want to put speed on them, but we're not like trying to get anywhere. We're not rushing. We're not like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So we're enjoying. That's the goal. Is to like.
Yeah, I think what I want to do is like, I want to take the motorcycles to places like national parks or something.
Yes.
Where the roads aren't insane and you're going around driving, but you're in like a beautiful place.
Yeah.
You know.
And you're connected, like you said
Yeah.
earlier with the truck. Like it's.
Yeah, like I don't want to go down Highway 75.
No.
Fuck that.
I got a car for that.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. No desire for that. How long do you think it's going to take you to fix them up? How much are y'all going to dive into this?
He's like I said, he's got his pretty close. We've been keeping him at his place, so I just haven't been working on mine as much. But we're about to move mine over to my place, so I can start working on it, just like when I'm at home and in my free time, you know.
Yeah.
But
so you know what's going to happen when you start doing this too? It's like you're going to realize that that's exactly what you need for your music, is to like get away from your music, and have a hobby that you just totally disconnect from the music.
Yeah,
I'm just working on this, and it's going to be like, there's this song idea I didn't even think about. You know?
100%.
It's like you got to get. So many people hyper focus on this artistic stuff, and it's like, yeah, that's not healthy either.
Yeah,
you know, this should be just fun.
Yeah, Levi always says that, you know, he's like, I'm an artist because of the way that I live. My art is not I'm not an artist because I decide to be an
I
artist.
hope he is as cool as that sounds, like, because that sounds really cool.
I think, and I would attest that he is.
I really like it. Yeah,
I would say that he is. I mean, yeah, you could say that a lot of people would say that, and you'd be like, I don't know, but
that goes back to
he really is.
But that's like when I was talking about country music. It's like I've heard so many phonies. It's like you've heard a lot of people say stuff like that. I mean, I believe you, and I believe that he's. I mean, everything I've heard so far, I'm like, yeah.
I mean, I tell you, like I say that,
deal.
and then he's like, I'm like, he's got this bike almost working. He's got this 94 Ford.
That's
He's
what I'm
got,
saying,
you know,
dude.
so he's.
And while he's doing that, he's going with you to Europe, playing shows and writing songs.
He's playing bass with
Come on, man.
Angel White. He's doing like he lives what he's talking about. So
which one of y'all? Who played music first out of the two of you?
oh, he did.
Him?
Yeah, he's been playing music since he was young. I mean, I've been playing guitar since I was little.
Yeah,
but like he was in like bands in high school and stuff. Like I didn't start playing until I was like college. You know.
Oh, okay. So when you were watching him playing in bands in high school, you weren't thinking like, oh, I got to do this. Like,
I know I liked music,
Yeah.
and I knew like I'd started playing guitar. I don't think it was in my mind where I was like, that's what I want to do. But I knew that like that seems pretty fun.
I have a 5-year-old son. I really, really want him to just be into music, play an instrument. I don't care what it is. I want you to play an instrument, you know? And, you know, he's reaching that age where, like, I don't think you need to learn at 5, 6, 7, 8, but it's like, you know, middle school, high school, it'd be cool if you started digging something, you know? Maybe by high school, you know? But you can't, it's like you can't force it, you know?
No.
I was curious if you saw your older brother and like, oh, I want to do that. But it sounds like no. It sounds like it was still your own decision in your early 20s.
Yeah, it was still, I mean, I was 10 when I started running. So I think I found running at an early age.
Yeah, I remember we talked about that.
We talked about it in the first
Yeah,
first
you were big in
podcast.
cross country, right?
Yep, cross country and track. So that when I was young, that was kind of my like, you know, my first thing that I was like, okay, I fell in love with this.
Mm-hmm.
That was my first big thing, and so that was like his first big like I'm in love with this was music and guitar and like, so it was nice when we came back together because he's just been able to show me so much and just you know, we come from different places and viewpoints and like, you know, like I see music this way but there's so much that we come together and we're like, this is really cool. You know?
Well, that conflict's good for it, right?
It's great.
You know, you need that.
It's great. We need that. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like you don't want to write like your influences. You want to be yourself.
No, you want to be yourself.
Yeah.
And we were just saying the other day because he was like, I love when people like will send me a song or send me like something they want to co-write. And like 2 songs will come out of it just because you write completely different things. But just the fact that you shared, now there's this little idea, you know? So like,
I have this project. I don't know if I can get it started because I don't know if the artist will want to do it, but you can weigh in. But I was thinking about that, right? Of just all these great people here in DFW that we have playing music, lots of different styles and genres.
yeah.
I was like, man, I think it would be fun if I forced y'all to go into a room together at a studio or something for 8 hours. You know, whatever your instrument, singer, whatever you're doing, just bring your thing with you. And maybe you bring some song ideas, like maybe some B stuff that just hasn't worked on anything.
Right.
Both of you. And then just go like, okay, you've got, you know, 8 hours and we're going to need a song. At 8 hours, we're going to hit record. And then we record it, we film it, make a video of that, you know, just a live little session. But, you know, kind of just showing like the differences of these writing processes, how people work together and, you know, like what you would get stern on and what you'd be willing to give on. Because it's also like the way you and your brother write together, I'm sure is so different than other bands, you know?
Oh, yeah,
and so I think
100%.
it would expose y'all to these different things. And you'd have like the confident people, the timid people.
Yeah.
And then even afterwards, after it's done, you know, it's like you get these interviews like, you know, I wish I really pushed for this or that. And, you know, the song doesn't even need to go anywhere. Just a fun little throwaway project. But
yeah, I think it's
know.
a great idea. I mean, I think it would also show people that like, because a lot of people have ideas, but they're like, oh, it's not good.
Right.
So I think it would show people that like the idea that you think is not good can turn into this 8 hours later, right? And that's like, some of it is like, we have ideas and maybe we're like, it's all right. I'll throw it on the table.
Yeah.
And then 8 hours later, you're like, oh, damn, that took that took my idea to something else, and now it's like I'm loving it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of shows that if you just put it in motion and like do it, you may not love it now, but it could be something that if you put 4 guys in a room and say, hey,
Right.
you have 8 hours to do this, all of a sudden it turns into something that you do love.
Which that is what the old studio magic was, right?
Oh, 100%.
It's like you go watch something like the Eagles documentary, and it shows them in like the studio for like months,
Yeah.
arguing with each other about a guitar part or something. And it's like, yeah, but that was it. And then once it finally clicked on something, and then you see them all thrilled that I mean, even that great Beatles documentary from way back in the day shows us it's all that kind of stuff. And yeah, part of me too is thinking that project would be fun of like, that would be a fun way to like showcase the DFW artists, because we have so many people who like don't get their shine, you know, that are extremely talented.
100%.
You know, it's like you meet these players here and you're like, I'll never play as good as you, and no one knows who you are. You know, so like how does this happen? And then, you know, a way where you're like promoting them without being like, check out this new band all the time. You know, that social media fatigue. But
we got enough people, so
yeah. Who like what would you be more afraid of? Being paired with someone you know that is talented, that you kind of get their style, or being paired with someone that you have no idea what they do?
I feel like I would be a little bit more.
Well, like we talked about Garrett Owen. You know Garrett Owen, right? If I was like, hey, we're going to throw you with Garrett Owen. So you know he's got great voice, great guitar player. Or if I was like, actually, it's going to be like a mystery person. It's nobody in your genre.
Yeah.
Which one would scare you more?
I think the mystery person, but I think there would also be more like, it's kind of that like high risk, high reward. Not that, obviously, if I went and recorded a song with Garrett Owen, I know I'm probably going to get a pretty high reward because he's just very talented.
Yeah, but you know what you can get into.
You know what you can get into, but with this mystery, it's kind of like, man, something new could come of this that I have no idea, nothing, you know what I mean? So I like that aspect, but there is the aspect if like, you know, if you get in your head about it where you're like, what if they don't think I'm good, or they don't like me, or, you know.
But I also think that could be endearing, where like the two of you went in there, it didn't click. The song sucks, and you got through it, and then afterwards you're both like, I don't think there's anything there.
Yeah, like we were saying earlier, when you're just like at the bar and you have a disagreement, you're like, cool. It was what it was, you know. But
oh man, I got to figure out how to do it. This
it'd be really cool.
I think it'd be fun. It's just you got to do it right, you know, because you're only going to get one shot. The hardest part would just be figuring out how to film it where it doesn't intrude on what you're doing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Where you're just like, y'all are just working, and we're just flies on the wall here, you know.
Yeah.
Because it would be a pretty big undertaking. Like if you're working on a song for let's say it's not even 8 hours. What if we gave you 4 hours to work something up?
Yeah.
It's still 4 hours of footage you got to go through and kind of like find moments, you know.
Yeah.
If you had like even just 2 cameras of the writing process, it's like that's so much editing.
It's a lot. Yeah, for sure, it is a lot.
My ideas are always bigger and then I start looking into it. And I'm like, that's going to take a lot of time, but.
They're cool ideas, though.
You know, like if it was endless budget, it's like we would also do it at a place like Sons of Herman Hall,
right?
Where it's fun location. It's like you show up to a thing where you're kind of excited about the day.
Oh, 100%. It would. Right. It's a great idea, though. Yeah. I mean, I think
if you want to steal it, you can. It's not going to bother me. If you end up getting the funds and the time, go for it.
I think doing it even if you didn't have the video component would be really cool to show people. But I think just getting 4 musicians in a room and just being like, hey, we have 8 hours or we have 4 hours. Like let's see what we can do.
Yeah, I'm probably overthinking it. Really, you could just do it all with cell phones for the video part. Nobody would care.
Yeah,
and if it took off, you can increase production as it's going.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Something to think about.
Now you got my wheels turning, man.
Yeah, I know some musicians for sure.
Yeah, I know you do.
It'd be fun.
Well, because like there's a ton of them where you're just thinking, how are you not more popular?
Yeah,
maybe 100%. I understand not world famous, but like you should be known on a national scale at least.
Right.
I mean, we're talking about Garrett. It's like that guy's playing ability and singing ability,
unbelievable.
It should be known a little more far and wide than it is.
Levi and I went to write. He invited us to the studio. We were at Consalvo one night because he was like, let's co-write a little bit. I have some songs. Maybe you could And we went in to write with him, and we brought our guitars, and like, you know,
Mm-hmm.
he started playing these songs, and we were like, dude, there's no way we're gonna be able to keep up with you playing.
No.
But I mean, we still wrote the like had a good session,
Mm-hmm.
and me and Levi both like really didn't play guitars at all.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that shows you too that like you can always provide something.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, and he nerds out on that.
He does. He's
obsessed.
He studied it. So,
He's
I mean,
obsessed.
He knows it so well.
Yeah.
I love the fact that he's studied. He knows it so well, but that he can also kind of, he shows like his freedom in it too. Where you know he's like, I'm not so.
Yeah.
I know it so well that I can come off of that and just write and just you know.
You know who else is like that around here is Matt Tedder.
Yeah.
Another one where you're just
fantastic.
like he's making moves, he's doing his thing, but you're just like any day now, right? Like
Yeah.
Matt Tedder's got to make it.
He's got it.
He's got to make it,
He's
right?
got it. Yeah.
You know, and just getting to chat with him, and again realizing like it's genuine.
Yeah.
You know, it's like guy just loves music. And what's crazy is I think the Fort Worth scene is so much more underrepresented than the Dallas scene too.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't know if there's just not someone over there to have their back. Or
I mean,
I
you
don't know
got
what
great
it is.
guys coming out. I mean, you got like Abraham Alexander coming out.
Yeah,
there.
I
You
forgot
got
about that.
Leon Bridges.
Leon Bridges.
I mean, they've got some dudes who are coming from you know, the Fort Worth scene. So
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Matthew McNeil, who he came to our release show and played. He's been a big part.
Is
of
he the guy with long hair and a beard? He's doing like big social media game, right?
No.
No. I'm getting him mixed up with somebody else.
Yeah,
I'm
he
getting
runs
him
like
mixed up.
Matt Black Sound. It's a like a record label over there that
Okay, I'll have to check it out.
he's done stuff with like Abraham Alexander and he's just kind of he's in that scene. He's in the Dallas scene as well. But man, such a nice guy and yeah, he's yeah. But yeah, I mean Fort Worth has great.
Yeah,
great dudes.
I feel like we're a music town like that needs to be looked at as like Dallas Fort Worth.
Yeah, 100%.
Right? And I don't think our little town's getting the recognition it deserves for the high quality players around here.
Yeah.
I had this guy on here, Cameron, who's in this group called Cure for Paranoia.
Yeah.
You know them? Okay. And that's what he was kind of talking about that. He's like, man, for whatever reason, people have to leave here, get popular, and then DFW is like, oh yeah, they're great.
Yeah, they're
And it's like, as I'm saying that, I'm thinking like, yeah, you guys are touring Europe. You know, you're doing your shows here, but it's like you're going across the ocean touring Europe.
Yeah.
And it's like if for some reason you popped in Europe on a huge level, people here would be like, yeah, they're from here.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, why can't we do the reverse? Or
Yeah.
why can't we do both?
It's like a claiming thing, you know? It's like they
Yeah.
get big and it's like, well, we have to claim them. We have to claim them.
Yeah, and it's like, but you do know you can go see them in a venue right now, right? And like you don't even have to fake it. You can just go see them
just go see them.
now.
You've already claimed, like they're already claimed.
Yeah.
Like there's no need to claim them.
Yeah, you waiting for a better venue than the Kessler? What are you doing?
Yeah. I wouldn't wait for a better one.
No. What do you think the move is now, man? You got this album out. It's all like what's the plan for this year? Or not this year, but like 2026.
And I definitely want to play it out a lot. I would love to go back overseas, go back to Europe. Definitely have a lot of contacts over there, so I'd love to do that and go see those people out there again. I think creatively, I'm just excited. It's just it's kind of open again, you know?
Yeah.
From a creative standpoint, right? Like these songs are out, this record is out, we've put in that work to put it out. So creatively, it's exciting to kind of be on a blank page again and be like, I want to go play these songs. I want this record to succeed. I want it to do its thing. But also creatively, it's just like I could do anything next. I could.
What about playing shows? Like, what's your ideal schedule like? You know, next year playing shows.
I think it'd be big for us. My focus would be big for us to go back to Europe.
Yeah,
and I've been talking to people about that.
Do you want to do more of those? Like we were talking about, kind of the singer-songwriter bar.
Yeah, I would love
rooms?
to do that.
Yeah.
I would love to go like open for someone again. I mean, me
Yeah.
and David Forsythe were talking because he released a record,
Mm-hmm.
so we were talking about us just going and song swapping over there and just doing that would be fun just for us to go play.
You think you'd do well at on a festival?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think full band too would be really cool because, like I said, these songs have just some more energy to them. Some more.
I just feel like I feel like a 20-minute festival spot.
It'd be amazing.
You guys would just kill it.
Yeah.
You know, just enough to get that taste of what you guys do, and then they can go find the slower B-sides that wouldn't work on a festival and like really connect with the album,
100%.
Yeah.
I think getting more opening slots, like we were lucky enough to get an opening slot this Thursday at Ferris Wheeler's in Dallas, opening for Raylan Baxter, so that's a huge one.
Great venue. That's a venue that shouldn't be good.
But it is, right?
When you're like, that part of town, what is it? It's like a big patio space and there's a Ferris wheel? Yeah. No, but it's good.
Big like barbecue joint, like.
But it's a great spot.
It is.
Yeah, it's an awesome spot.
And I've been a huge Raylan Baxter fan since he started releasing music.
That's fun.
So, he's, I've played on some big shows, like I played with Abraham at Majestic. I've played, but I think, I've listened to all of Raylan's music, so he's one of those first guys that I'm opening for someone that I'm a huge fan of.
Fanboy out a little bit.
Yeah.
What's the question you're going to ask? What's the nerdy one you're going to do? On that one album, like, what are you going to do?
Dude, I have no idea. I feel like sometimes I try to think in my head, and I'm like, I can't think about it. I just have to meet him.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden something comes out, and I'm like, whatever comes out, dude, comes out.
Man, when I got starstruck playing music, when I was in the punk band that I was in, we had this long story brought us to this weird opportunity where we opened up for these punk rock heroes of mine, Rancid.
Yeah.
And I've always felt like their bass player, Matt Freeman, is just this freak style of like, he's just this very unique player. Now there's a dime a dozen people who play like him, but he was playing in this way that was real unique. And I'd seen some interviews and stuff after the fact where he talks about like, I just play what's fun, and sometimes it ends up being hard because I just thought it'd be fun to like, sometimes it's stupid, like I'm just hammering on this note over and over and over and over, but it worked for this song. And
right.
But he's like walking the bass a lot in these weird ways, but it's all fast, sloppy punk rock style playing, and nobody played like that at the time,
I love that.
And so I was always obsessed with like, how do you create your own style of playing? Like, that's insane to me. Like, to me, what he was doing on the bass was similar to like what Hendrix was doing on guitar. Like it was, I'd never heard somebody play bass like this, So we really fucked up this opening slot. We mismanaged. We were driving from El Paso to San Antonio. We mismanaged our time, and then we forgot about the time change. So we were incredibly behind, and we showed up late, and we missed sound check, and we looked like the amateurs that we were, and the venue was pissed. And I doubt Rancid cared because their headlining set doesn't change.
Right.
But like literally we're doing like our sound check on our first song because the venue is like, we're not, going to help you in any way since you dropped the ball here.
Right.
And we deserved it, right? But I'm sitting back there, and it's like I'm stringing up my guitar because strings broke right before this. All the shit is going
just
wrong.
Just like going wrong.
Yeah, and so now the strings are going to stretch, and I got to tune every song and blah 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 blah. And but I'm sitting there on the back steps of this venue, and he's like walking by to his tour bus, and I'm like, boom, starstruck, and I'm thinking like, and in my mind, I'm going to have this cool conversation about influences and stuff. Instead, I just kind of shout at him. I'm just like, hey. And he like is like about to open the door for his bus, and he's just looking at me, and I was like, "What'd you listen to growing up?" Like just yelling at him.
Yeah, just whatever comes out.
Yeah. And I can't remember now. I think he either said the Who. I think he said the Who. He listened to a lot of the Who or something. Which to me, I was like, "Well, that's not punk rock." And it's like, yeah, that didn't exist yet. When he was growing up.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, cool. And then we just awkwardly went other ways. Yeah. And I was like, God, I thought I saw this going so many different ways in my mind before.
Yeah. You see this really cool like interaction, and then it like he like fist bumps you at the end or something. You're like, well, I don't know if I saw it going that way.
Do you guys want to come on the rest of the tour with us? Like,
yeah. That's in your head. You're like, that's how I see it.
So you're gonna have to think of what you're gonna ask this person, man. That way you don't blow it like me.
I know. I feel like
don't just scream at him from across the.
Yeah. I don't.
Hey. No, don't. Hey. Yeah.
What do you like to do? And he's like, what?
Yeah. You like ice cream too? I mean, do you want to get ice cream? That's not what I mean. Do you want to hang out?
Yeah. I mean, and it very well could be that. I don't know.
I hope it is. I think it'll be fun for you. No, I'm joking.
I think it'll be fun too. I think random questions are fun. I mean, because I feel like most of the time it's like, these guys are probably used to like being like, what are your influences? Like, this conversation that, so I'm sure it's some fun just to be like, say something stupid, like some stupid shit that, Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing, right? Like now with maturity, it's like now I know you're a person.
Yeah.
And
100%.
I would find something else to talk to you about.
Yeah.
And because I think at the time I was, I don't know, 20, 21.
Yeah.
And so you're just like, that's my idol. You know, wow,
Yeah.
that's incredible. But it was a fun time, man. Talk about like it was the coolest experience too, because even after all that, showing up late and everything, it's like when they were done, the lead singer of the band, who runs like his own record label and stuff, you know, just a super cool guy, and he like comes up and insists on like taking pictures with us, and then they give us a huge bucket full of just free merch from their merch table. Vinyl records, shirts,
awesome.
all this stuff. And we're just like, thanks for doing the show.
Yeah.
And we're like, yeah, no, we fucked up and got here super late though. And he's like, it's cool. It's like,
Yeah, you're good.
yeah. But
Hell yeah.
it was still cool, man. So I'm excited for you. It sounds like whether you intend it to be or not, 2026 is going to be a fun year for you with this record
It should
out.
be. I'm excited. I'm excited to see what it brings.
Just having something new after 4 years of
Yeah.
working on it, man. It's going to be.
I'm excited that everyone gets to, just hear all the songs, and hopefully we get to get out and play it. So
we're talking about all the differences. That means the third album, you're going to have to go crazy and just do like. This will be your screaming lyrics that we've never heard before.
This will be my screaming electronic record.
Do you ever get loud? Not singing. I mean, just as a person. Like, do you ever just yell at anyone?
Not really.
Even your brother? You're just, what the fuck, man?
We do have some of that.
Yeah,
a little
okay.
bit. Most of it's joking.
Yeah.
We sometimes we are like, oh man, you're a stupid motherfucker, you know, or like.
I'm just trying to picture you getting so angry, you just screamed.
Yeah.
Just, what the? Like road rage or something.
Road rage is a good. The only
Okay.
thing about the road rage is that there's usually not someone in the car to hear me.
Yeah.
So, but yes, I feel like on the road is one place that I do get real loud, and a lot of times it's like the cars or people around me aren't like really fucking up. They're just doing normal stuff, you know. But I'm just like in this like.
Okay.
You know,
this is what I also want to see on your social media. Okay, because your music. There's lots of these tones of calm,
100%.
reserve.
We need to see some.
I want to see you you driving and road raging, like somebody's turning too slowly into a parking lot. And you're just like, it's not gonna flip over. Like just screaming at them.
Oh, 100%.
Please do that for me.
Yeah,
This is how we're gonna get the band going, man.
Or it's crazy because it'll be something. Like someone will be turning on a green light and they're just turning slow, and I'll just be like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Do you just yell or do you honk the horn?
No, I don't honk.
Dude, I hit the horn.
You hit the horn.
I need to stop because I have children now. You know, like this could go south, but
I just yell. Which if you have kids, like you could think like, well, maybe I shouldn't honk the horn. But then I'm over here like yelling like all the words that you probably don't want your children to hear. So
I've only had one moment where I had to turn around to my 4 or 5 year old at the time and just be like, "We don't say that word."
Yeah, we don't say that.
Usually I can bite my tongue, but yeah, that's what I want to see, man. That's your go tell State Fair that this is your content. Is we're just gonna show you raging in the car.
The
Europeans will love it, dude.
I'm either calmly building a bike or I'm raging on.
Come
you
on,
know what
man.
I mean? That's it.
Maybe you're going to be the perfect, like 30 years from now, they'll be like, he was the icon of Americana, that the country, this is what we all were.
This is, he's the face of this.
This is where it started.
Yeah, this is where it is.
Well, this will be out after that cool Thursday show you're doing, unfortunately. So we'll be in the future, and it was a great show, and you got to meet this person.
We'll get to see how this conversation goes.
Yeah.
So,
Anything else you want to throw out there, though?
Oh, man, I think just that show, Thursday, Ferris Wheelers, opening for Raylan Baxter. It's going to be a good one.
Check out the highlights now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Check out the highlights.
And the social media, which we just all bashed, is Scribner Jackson.
Yeah.
Got the reverse on it, right?
Yeah.
What else? You got, like, YouTube or anything?
Yeah, the video will be coming. I don't know when the exact release date is yet, but I know that we're close to like getting the final product of that.
Yeah.
I feel like this is like my Hot Ones look in the camera moment. You know?
Yeah. Well, and I was literally, when you were walking up, I'll get it after we leave here, but I was just about to buy the vinyl, which is on statefairrecords.com.
Perfect, yeah.
They've got a color vinyl. It's only $30. This is the one you want to get, and then go stream it all later.
Yep. Get the vinyl.
Oh, you know what?
Later.
Real quick, if you want to get into it, I forgot. Why is it Depression Kids? Why is that the name of the album?
Yeah, so it kind of me and Levi had this idea about, and we actually got we bought like the website for it. It's depressionkidsclub.com. We haven't really used it yet. We're still but the idea was that it's like everyone has depression at some level at some point. Right, it's not just like, because people think of depression as this super deep thing that people have, and sometimes it is that. But sometimes, someone gets depressed because that's just the day that it is, So I feel like it's something that everybody's dealt with on some level and at some point. And if you were to take all of those people and put them in a club, you'd have everybody in the club. So I feel like for me, we have this like slogan that's like only everyone allowed. And that's the idea of this record, is that everyone's invited to this. And it's something that people can connect on, something that people should connect on. You should connect on, the ways that maybe you're struggling or you're depressed or things that aren't working out for you. You should connect with people on those things the same way you do with your successes, or because when people have success, they want to share it. They're like, "Oh, I'm doing that," But when you're not, like, you got to have those people that you share that with too.
Yeah.
So
that's the perfect thing to end it on, man.
That's what this record is.
That's perfect. Well, I appreciate your time, man. Door's always open for the next record. Anytime you want to come back, dude.
I always want to come back.
The I'm a Fan of podcast, music, comedy, and more.